Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday afternoon live stream where it is time for us to destroy all of the things that made us anxious and feel shitty over the last week in fire. Particularly the fire that I will create around other people's Letterboxd profiles. I am going to just destroy them. Destroy all of them, every single one of them, even from the people who are here in the chat right now, who are eagerly awaiting for their time in the sunlight, or rather the firelight. Everyone gets the roast. So first, of course, I will start off by saying hello to everyone, but before I even do that, I need to explain what the hell we're doing here, because some of you might be new. So, Letterboxd, it's a website that exists. People have movie opinions on it. I have movie opinions myself, and as the Cinephile Supreme, trademark, I hate a lot of your other opinions. So in a good-hearted, good-natured way, I'm going to roast you. But only because you asked me to. And the way to ask is to go down into the description box, click the link, and that will take you to a Letterboxd list where you can sign up to be roasted. So it should be a good old fun time. Now, if you do not want to wait for your name to come up, probably in the next couple of weeks, because a lot of people have signed up, you can super chat. And that is just the easiest possible way and really the only way to jump the line. So if you would want to do that, it's a nice little way to support the channel, and you get to get roasted immediately. Unless there's like multiple super chats, and then we just go in order. But that's it. That's how this works. This is fun. We're going to have fun today. So who's here? Who's here in chat? We have Pomodore saying hello. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Hello, hello. Jasmine's here. Hello. Neo's here. Jack is here, and apparently Jack still thinks he's daddy, which we all know is not the case. It's me. I'm the father of cinephiles here. Paul is here. What's up, Paul? Felly, good to see you back. Random Swede, hello. Tim Lee, what's up? Jim, Josephine, Joshua Breen, once again coming to us from the Star Trek universe, being a villain, and Hawk. Hawk was here as well. I was rewatching Suspiria, horrible timing. Well, I mean, I do this at the same time every week, so really this is your own fault. You did this to yourself. I saw Oppenheimer last night, and I don't know what to think. Really? Consensus around the film has been very exact. Not a lot of dissent amongst critical consensus anyways. I also saw Oppenheimer last night, and I have a review for it on the channel right now. It's a short even. You could watch it right now while watching me. You could watch two TJs at once, too. That's double the TJs for nothing. And yeah, I think it's really good. I think it's a really good movie. I think it's well put together. I think it's well executed. And that's about it. I watched The China Syndrome yesterday. It was great. I have not seen that film, but I probably should. So, we're here for roasts, aren't we? Are we not here to see the roasting happen? I'm here to see the roasting happen, and I'm the one doing the roasting. So why don't we start off with the Roast of Soviet Cinema, someone who is in the chat right now. You'll see them as being called Soviet Spider. So if they say anything about this roast while I'm roasting, make sure to roast them even more. That's right. We can roast as a community as long as you're respectful. I won't be, though. Why would I ever be respectful? Especially to someone whose name is Soviet Cinema. A name particularly Soviet that just conjures up so many not good illusions in my mind. Mostly, you know, the whole authoritarian gulag thing. Although I guess Tarkovsky made a couple of nice looking films. Speaking of which, looking at your favorite films, where's the fucking Tarkovsky, bro? Where's the Mirror? Where's the Solaris? Where is the Ivan's Childhood? I don't give a shit. All I see here is Kill Bill, Come and See, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Martyrs. And I know Come and See is a Soviet film. Great, good for you. At least I think it's a Soviet film. Is it a Soviet film? Why don't we take a quick check on that to make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about, as the Cinephile Supreme, after all. So the director's Russian. That's usually a good sign. I'm going to say that yes, it is Russian. Country, USSR. Yep. Definitely Soviet cinema. So the first thing I'm going to say to you, Soviet cinema, and usually I go after the profile picture first, but that's coming, is that you have already fallen completely on your face. You could easily have included other films from Soviet cinema in your top 4, and yet you rely on like a kind of okay Quentin Tarantino film, a new French extremity film in Martyrs, and just what was one of the best films of all last year, something that has nothing to do at all with Soviet cinema. So why in God's name should I believe you at all? What is this even supposed to say to me? And you know what? I do see here that you have a bio, and we're going to go to that bio. We're going to get there in a second. But first, how fucking dare you have such a cute photo of a sleeping cat as your profile picture? Do you know how much this angers me? Because I know that with a name like Soviet Cinema, you are probably just walking around your home constantly talking out loud to this cat about your opinions of Soviet cinema. This is probably the one and only time your cat has had the opportunity and the ability to close its eyes because you don't leave it the fuck alone. Stop bothering your cat. Let it get some sleep. Oh my God, it's very, very cute and you don't deserve it. So moving now on to the bio, you think that movies are cool. And from that statement, I'm just going to assume that when you say cool, you mean the temperature-wise, because we all know a lot of Soviet cinema happened in the winter, because it's cold in Russia, you see. That's the joke. But now you also seem to be pointing out, or trying to tell us, that each of these 4 favorite films means something very different. Number 1 being Kill Bill Volume 1 is a subjective favorite. Oh, good for you. This is the one that you watch and get the most pleasure out of. Great. I guess the person who's really into Soviet cinema is also really into watching lots of people die. Who could have guessed? Then you have the objective best, which is, of course, bullshit. Objectivity doesn't exist, and the only people who attempt to tell you that objectivity exists are people who are trying to control you with this groupthink nonsense of what is good and what is not good. Don't believe them. Run away from anyone who says anything about objectivity. And then you have your most recent favorite, which is a film from last year. You've seen 121 films this year, Soviet cinema. You haven't seen anything newer and better than Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that maybe you're just not watching very many good movies. And then lastly, we have the best disturbing movie, which is just Martyrs. And like, this might have flown as a pick, this kind of particular pick, back in like the late 2000s, when more disturbing and more ridiculous films hadn't yet been released. I would also just point to films like High Tension, or even Serbian Film or Cannibal Holocaust. Like, this is the shit that you come up with for best disturbing film, not Salo. There wasn't a Soviet cinema film that you couldn't put in here. I call large amounts of bullshit on that. And then we get down into the recent activity and we find out that you absolutely don't care about Soviet cinema at all. Look at this shit. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think the one that was directed by Michael Bay, right? Or he was like part of it. He was a producer on it. I'm pretty sure Michael Bay was involved in this somehow. I guess not. He's not listed anywhere here. Why did I think he was involved in this film? But then also, superhero movie, the parody movie. Wow, that's some real good cinema right there. Also, Puss in Boots: The Last Witch, which you had words to say about it. Wow, who could have thought the best movie in the Shrek series, and possibly the best animated movie ever, would be the sequel to a spin-off? Oh, so did the Soviets not create any animated films that you were particularly interested in, that you thought were particularly good? I guess it all just comes down to you watching this movie and saying, hey, wow, this cat has a lot of anxiety, and that relates to my cat because I never shut the fuck up. This movie is great because of that. 5 out of 5. Woo, good for you. And also you have a 4.5-star review for I've never been able to say the name of this film properly. Persepolis. Freedom always has a price. Yes, and one of those prices is the toppling of the Berlin Wall. So, what else is going on here? Do you have any popular reviews? Not really. The Lighthouse looks like you tried to do a pun on jizz, which is fine. I don't know if it's worth 3 likes, but it's fine. Also, for Good Time, you said what is this word? One-o-trix point never fucking slaps. What is that? What is that? Is this on purpose? Did you do this on purpose? I don't know what to say about that. So instead, I'm going to try to find some things to say about your stupid list. And of course, you have an A24 ranked list. Of course you do. Movies that made me have a sad cum BB. Wow. 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 A sad jerk-off sesh, huh? I guess that's all we can expect from someone named Soviet Cinema. God damn it. I really need people to stop putting Irreversible in their lists because I can't show it on live stream. There's too much nudity in it. Good goddamn. But what else do we have in here? What other films made you have a sad jerk-off sesh? Ichi the Killer? I don't know why that would make you sad. Requiem for a Dream? That's a lovely movie about very positive things that happen all the time. Is Salo in here? I don't think I saw... Oh yeah, Salo is here. Yeah, congratulations. Enter the Void, also sad jerk-off session. Man, that's too bad. That's too bad because these are all happy movies and sexy movies too. So I think there's just something a little bit weird from you. And naturally, we get Tarantino and Star Wars ranked and the Saw franchise ranked, which I can't even be bothered to comment on because who could even possibly give a shit about this dumpster fire of a franchise? Have you even seen all the films? I guess Saw 10 is coming soon. Oh, but you do have a Gaspar Noé ranked one, and goddammit, I did this to myself by clicking on it, and Irreversible is right there. So, let's see. You have Climax, Enter the Void, Irreversible, I Stand Alone, Vortex, Lux Eternia, and Love. No, I think probably Irreversible over Enter the Void, Vortex over I Stand Alone. Don't really have an opinion on the rest. So... I see someone in the chat saying, how is there 10 Saw movies? Because dumbasses like Soviet Cinema here keep showing up for them. But let's see what's going on with the films. What have you been ranking? Ooh, right off the bat, I see a 1 star for Sound of Freedom. Uh-oh. The right-wingers aren't going to like that. And to be clear, good. If there's one thing that I love doing, it's pissing them off. So, what do we got down here in the half stars? Typical bullshit, although I will say we are continuing on a very fine tradition on this channel by discovering new Home Alone films just by seeing things ranked half star. Did I know there was a Home Alone 4? No. Am I surprised? No. And honestly, good for French Stewart for still being able to get work, I guess, 20 years ago. I wonder if he's still working to this day. Did he die? Is French Stewart still alive? I don't know, actually. So what else do we have down here in the half stars? Resident Evil, The Final Chapter, some shitty Spiral Saw movie, Silent Hill Revelation 3D. Oh my god, whoever saw that should probably just have their bank account taken away from them because they cannot responsibly spend their own money. Batman and Robin, Suicide Squad, yeah, those are pretty bad. The original Black Panther down at a 1 star. That's interesting. I don't think anyone would ever put Black Panther on the same level as Green Lantern and X-Men Origins. You may be the only one in the world. And this is one of those very interesting moments where being unique is not a good thing. We also have Batman Begins at 2 stars. Huh? You think Batman Begins and The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor are the same? I disagree heavily. Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is like objectively a shit film. What did I rate it? Yeah, 1.5 stars. Whereas Batman Begins is like an easy 3.5. I'm going to put it at 3.5 right now. An easy 3.5. So yeah, you fucked up on that one. You're wrong. Although you did rank Attack of the Clones correctly. Yep, exactly the same as what I ranked it. So good job. You did, however, give The Last Jedi the the shitty internet person treatment by giving it a 1 star, but you know what? Maybe you're just a child and you don't know any better yet. Let's see if we can confirm that by looking at the 5-star films. And you've got quite a few 5-star films in here. Considering we are still on your first page and I'm still seeing 5 stars, I guess we're gonna have to give this person the handing shit out like candy award. My goodness. How can you even do that? The Dirties at 5 stars? What? Okay. Hold on. There's going to be some other fun ones in here. I just know it. Mandy at 5 stars. Disagree. Revenge of the Sith 5 stars. Disagree. Oh my god. Fight Club. Oh, there's some like real strong Film Bro vibes to this all of a sudden. As soon as I see Fight Club highly rated, I think Film Bro. Film bros. I almost got like a spidey sense about them, and I don't like it. Just wild. Some of this shit's just wild, though. Like, you see No Country for Old Men at 5 stars, or like Requiem for a Dream at Lighthouse at 5 stars, and then you just like casually look around and you find a film like Mandy or New Order or Soft and Quiet, and it's like, really, The Imitation Game? Like, those are films that are on the same level as Full Metal Jacket, No Country for Old Men, and Old Boy? Just no. Just no. The only saving grace here is that I'm not seeing La La Land, but I bet if I click through a couple more times, I'd probably find it, and it would probably have 5 stars on it. Once again, there's the Irreversible poster again. Nobody look. Everything's fine. Wow, that's a lot of 5 stars. Too many 5 stars, I think, Mr. and or Mrs. Soviet. And Soviet Spider, I don't know if you understand how this works. I appreciate the super chat that you just brought through, but like, I'm already roasting you and I'm not going to roast you again. So thank you very much for wasting your money. I'll make sure to buy a beer with that. A can of beer at the LCBO. Certainly not a beer at the bar. Living in Toronto is stupid and expensive, and I hate it. So, is there anything else here that we can say about this? I guess now that Soviet Spider has actually donated, and I know that this is their profile, then I guess we're doing this for movie recommendations, right? Right? Yeah, you're right there in the chat. You're saying that exact thing. So, let's take a look at these movie recommendations. Now, weirdly, I can actually look at some of these and be like, oh, you are putting these here because I have recommended them. Like Drunken Birds, Once Upon a Time in the West, Death by Hanging, Last Year at Marienbad, Jesus Camp, Winter Light. That's all me in a row. I know that I was talking about those films on previous live streams, so I'm not even going to touch those, even though they are all good picks. Royal Tenenbaums is too obvious. Safe, that's an interesting pick. I also feel like maybe these are other ones some of these are other ones that okay, not so much. So because I see it here and because it's right here, I will point you towards State of Siege. This is a film by Costa-Gavras, who's one of my favorite directors. Also directed the films Zed and Missing, 2 other films that I highly suggest. This one, just to read this out loud. Using the interrogation of a U.S. counterinsurgency agent as a backdrop, the film explores the consequences of the struggle between Uruguay's government and the leftist Tupamero guerrillas. I think I might have been thinking about another Costa-Gavras film when I recommended this one, but I'm still going to recommend it because Costa-Gavras is sick. I might have been thinking about The Confession. Yeah, The Confession is good. Little reference to La Jetée right there, I think. But yeah, these 4 films by Costa-Gavras, all of them in the Criterion Collection and all worth your time. But since you had State of Siege in your watch list, I'll say State of Siege. Yeah. It's not his like best film, but it's great. His best film is obviously Zed. Obviously Zed. And you know what, Soviet Spider? I'm going to be nice and I'm going to give you one more. I don't know why I'm doing this. I never do this. I'm probably never going to do it again. But you gave quite a nice donation, and I want to make sure that I'm leading you down an interesting and fun road of discovery. So what else do we have here? I'm not going to recommend Deathgasm, but if anyone here is into heavy metal, I think I've actually talked about this on the channel already. Yeah, it's like a black metal horror comedy. It's great. I mean, it's not great. It's fine. And I haven't seen Mysterious Skin yet, so I can't do that. I almost watched Borg McEnroe not that long ago, but the DVD copy of it I had didn't look that great. That's right, DVD copy that I got out of the library. There's an easy one. Spencer. You must watch Spencer. This movie is great. I love this movie a lot. Fantastic performance by Kristen Stewart. A lot of other cool shit going on in there, like the cinematography of Claire Mathon, the score of Johnny Greenwood, I think, and overall just wonderful. If you have relatives or parents who are really into the monarchy, this is a great thing to watch and then throw in their faces. Not like I've ever done that. No. I would never do that to my family, but you could do it to yours. So that, I think, Soviet Spider, that's where it's going to end. I'm going to bring it back here to this view and say hello to everyone, because I see that there are more people watching now than when I started, and that's always a great thing. Please like the live stream if you haven't already. Otherwise, I am going to put this entire can down my throat. And you don't want that to happen. Trust me. Because then the live stream will end. And no one wants that. So please like the live stream. By the way, that can was from a few days ago. I'm not drinking beer right now. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but it is sort of in the afternoon. How far are you in the list? I don't know. I just did Soviet Spider, so if you want to like check that, you can check that way. And it looks like we also have another super chat coming in from Felly. Thank you so much, Felly. I appreciate that. Please let me know your Letterboxd profile in the chat, and you, will get roasted next. I ask this every week. Well, then, you should be able to keep up with what my answers are usually. Tradition. I see. So what have you guys been saying in the chat? I'm interested about this. I'm going to go through, take a look at the chat. I'm living in Italy for a few months here. They dub all the films in cinemas, so I won't be watching Barbie nor Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer in actually, you know what? Barbie in Italian would probably be kind of fun. Kind of be a little fun. But it's weird that they don't offer English with Italian subtitles. That's kind of weird. Because even like I watched a film from China just yesterday, and it had Cantonese and Mandarin subtitles. Or excuse me, it had Cantonese and English subtitles. So maybe it was Mandarin and English subtitles. In any case, it was subtitled in 2 different languages. And so are all of like the Korean films that show here, all of the Indian films that show here. Like, it's weird, I think, that a country, especially one that has such a rich cinematic history, would go straight to dub and do nothing else. That's wild to me. Oh boy, 3 months in the making. There you go. Hope you liked it. That's my kitty. Nice. It is a great cat. It's funny how you wanted people to pick films from a variety of countries, and now that's a bad thing. Now you're starting to figure out how the roast works, right? Now you're starting to get it. Everything is bad. And I have no allegiance to anything I said previously. High Tension isn't even close to disturbing. It's disturbing that it got made. Oh, come on now. Yo, I just saw Oppenheimer last night. The score might be the best thing I've heard in a movie ever. I'm listening to Can You Hear the Music on repeat today. Nice. The score is very good, although I feel like it's not the most memorable part of the film. I saw Oppenheimer a couple of days ago, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's like post-concert depression, but with movies. You should probably go see it again. That's a good way of doing it. I stand alone here. Nice. Alone in what way? Oh. Talking about Soviet cinema? I'm part of the problem. I watched 7 Saw movies. Shame on you. Where was the Soviet cinema, bro? Yeah, good question, Hood Hookage. And thank you for joining us in the chat. Don't remember you being here before, but always nice to have new people around. Ghostlaman, hello. How are you? Christina, do I just put the username in chat if I want to get roasted? No, you must sign up by going to the Letterboxd list linked in the description and just comment on it. And that's how it works. Most Europe is very allergic to subtitles. That's so weird. Like one of the cinema havens of the world, you know, where cinephilia or just being a cinephile like was born out of France and other parts of Europe. You'd think that they'd like go for subtitles. It's just so strange. They have subs in like Rome or Milan, but no one near where I am, the pointy part of Italy. Oh, near the boot or near the toe, I guess. I love the wild hallucinatory tradition of insane Italian dubbing. I remember once I saw a dub of something and I was dubbed in Russian, but for whatever reason, they didn't fully get rid of the original language. So you could still hear like the English, but the English language part was like dropped down. So they dropped the volume of it and had the Russian over top. So you were really hearing like 2 different languages at the same time, but the Russian was more prominent. I don't know if that's a thing in Russia, if that's what they do, if that's how they approach it, but it was very strange and I've never seen it since. It's easier to find subs in the smaller countries since they normally don't have the cinema industry necessary to dub everything. Oh, true. I guess you would need like a fairly built up infrastructure and able to do dubs on films, right? Like you would need to have a fair stable of like voice actors and the various, voice studios and things like that in order to record that thing. It is a thing in Russia? Oh my god. I have not seen Barbie yet, but I will be doing that tomorrow. I did do that, and you skipped me, I think. I don't think I skipped you, Christina. What is your Letterboxd account name? There was a stupid thing I did a couple of weeks ago where I jumped ahead, but then I jumped back. Also, Felly, did you want anything for your super chat, or are you just being a kind donator? Because I am fine either way. So, while we wait for Christina to give us their Letterboxd profile so we can investigate some things, how about we just get into the roast of Quro? I hope I'm saying Quro right, and I'm going to keep saying it's Quro. And look, it's a photo of Quro. Oh, this could come right off a wanted poster. Look at how mischievous, look at how devious, look at how villainous that Quro looks. I am shaking in my boots. Honestly, I am. You know what? I'll go put on some boots and then I will shake in them. That will be a cool thing for all of us to watch. But I'll do it later, after the live stream's over. Scout's honor. That's going to happen. So Quro is got some interesting stuff going on here. Very interesting stuff going on here in their favorite films. But first, they have a big old bio for us to look at. So why don't we do that? Apparently this is Christian, or maybe they are Christian. I'm not really sure what's going on here, so I'm going to continue to call you Quro. Apparently, I do not attend to knowing even the slightest thing about films. I do not attend to knowing. I think you've been watching too many period pieces, my guy. This is not how the peoples talk. I rate what I want to rate. I don't rate what I don't want to rate. That's interesting. Maybe we're going to be able to draw some interesting conclusions about the things you don't want to rate. And you are currently reading one of the most pretentious books of all time, Ulysses by James Joyce. Hey, when you're done with that, why don't you tell me your thoughts on Infinite Jest? I'm sure you have lots of opinions. Your favorite books also include Mason and Dixon by Thomas Pynchon, The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, Invisible Cities by Calvino, Labyrinth by Borges, The Bridge of St. Louis Ray by Wilder, From by Wharton, The Frank Book by Woodring, The New York Trilogy by Auster, East of Eden by Steinbeck, and The Postman Always Rings Twice by Kane. Have you had fun in your life? I can count probably on a clenched fist. Previous to this roast, the amount of 16-year-olds I know who have read The Brothers Karamazov, Jesus, and you're currently reading Ulysses. That is something that will throw like second and third year university English students for a loop. And you're doing it when you're 16. I don't know if I'm in the presence of a genius or just some pretentious asshole who thinks this is the way that they should impress people. And you know what? Based on your favorite films, I'm gonna guess that it's the pretentiousness. Because of course we have films here like Andrei Rublev, a Tarkovsky film, one more Tarkovsky film than The Soviet Person, who was here recently, wouldn't you know. We also have Days of Heaven, which I believe is the Terrence Malick film, Heaven's Gate, which is the Camino film that was so famous for being over budget that after 1.5 day of shooting, they were 3 days behind shooting. Yes, you heard that right. This is a fascinating film to look at if you ever want to hear about production disasters. And also we have The New Land, which is a Jan Troll film that looks like it stars people who usually work with Bergman, Max von Sydow and Liv Ullmann. Look, they're right there. They're right there. The people that you know from the Bergman movies. Cool. So we got some Swedish stuff going on here, but not Bergman. A Western here, a couple of Westerns, but definitely not Westerns from like, you know, the 40s, 50s, 60s, the classic era of the Westerns, and a Soviet film that is probably 4 to 10 days long. Oh no, sorry. It's only 3.5 hours long. My mistake. So now that we've established what this person is all about, how pretentious they are at the age that they are, I wonder what wonderful, fascinating things we're going to learn about their film opinions. Let's start off with this 4-star Requiem for a Dream review. Good grief, that was intense. Yes, they did a lot of camping in this film. Intense enough to where I literally couldn't watch the film 10 minutes and instead just listen to it, both which speaks miles to how effective the sound design is on this movie, and 2, is probably the most intense sequence even without visuals that I've ever experienced in my life. So what you're actually admitting here, Jean Quro, is that you didn't watch the movie. You didn't watch it, did you? You didn't have your eyes open the whole time. You did what I did when I watched Jurassic Park on VHS when I was 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, when I was 8 years old. I hid behind the couch because I didn't want to see the velociraptors tear the nice people apart. And that would have been a terrible time in my life to actually make or give a review on Jurassic Park. So I think you should probably reconsider your opinion on Requiem for a Dream until you actually see the whole thing. But hey, you know what? You also watched Dead Reckoning Part 1, an action movie for the masses. What did you have to say about that? This might be dangerous thinking, but I'm on the edge of thinking this might be the most enjoyable action movie since, like, Heat. Yeah, that is kind of dangerous thinking because the most enjoyable action movie since Heat is probably Mission Impossible Fallout, which is a better film than Dead Reckoning Part 1. I'm sure there's also other really good action movies, but I think Fallout is pretty high up there. Better than The Dark Knight. Actually, except for the acting. That's the only thing that makes me want to take that sentence back. Anyways, see it in IMAX? Yeah, no shit. That should be a given by now. It's the only theatrical experience where you can actually guarantee seeing the movie projected properly. And here we have a 2-star review of Melancholia, a film that I thought, given the fact that you are currently reading Ulysses and you've already read The Brothers Karamazov, I would have thought Melancholia would be right up your pretentious alley, but perhaps not, Jean Quro, perhaps not. To put it into his own words, von Trier's Melancholia tastes like ash. It's a grayed out, bitter portrait of the void that occupies the melancholic soul, yet finds itself trapped in a void of its own, flailing about as it attempts to apply meaning to a single condition rather than finding a greater meaning. You mean the greater meaning of when a giant planet is going to crash into Earth and everyone's kind of depressed? I don't know if there needs to be greater meaning beyond that. And here we have some popular reviews. Ooh, 5 stars for your review of The Immigrants, which is a film by Jan Troll. Again, I think maybe you are really into this Jan Troll fellow. And this is, wait, another film with Max von Sydow and Liv Ullmann. Is this like a sequel to that film in your top 4? The New Land? I feel like it might be. For all 192 minutes of its runtime, Jesus Christ, that's 3 hours and a bit, is an absolutely stunning epic that uses visual poetry, versatile direction, and a killer ensemble cast to maximize the heck out of a simple narrative that deeply ingrains itself into American mythos despite being a foreign production. Okay, I have not seen it, and I cannot speak to any of that. So I guess fuck me for taking up everyone's time with that drivel. Whoa, lists. I have a feeling that we're going to see some... Oh, man. I thought that maybe you were pretentious. So pretentious to the fact that you wouldn't have Christopher Nolan rank lists. And yet here it is. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Why? And in fact, I can't even comment on this because I'm making a video about Christopher Nolan's film Ranked, including Oppenheimer. And like, I think, you know what? I'm not going to spoil my ranking. I will, however, say that this is wrong. This is 100% down to a film incorrect. Just absolutely batshit stupid backwards. There are maybe 1 or 2 things here that are close to being true, but for the most part, wrong. Incorrect. And what else is going on here? Jean's favorite films in 2023? Don't care. July non-genre film, genre literature. What? Why did you give me a book list? These are all the films that these are all the books that you read? Along with all the movies that you watched? I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised considering you're like, what, 16? You probably have some free time on your hands, but this just seems like a lot to do. Maybe I'm just a little bit illiterate and I don't read that quickly, but Jesus. Films I will not watch for various reasons. What? Okay, I guess the reasons for a lot of these is pretty similar. Well, I mean, if you're not going to watch The Wizard of Oz, and you're also not going to watch Mysteries of the Organism and Sweet Movie in 1900, man, what is up with the What is up with the tits? What is up with the tits on these posters? So I guess what I'm going to do now is work backwards. Considering you have Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2 and Call Me By Your Name, I'm going to guess that you're not into sexy movies, which is why you don't want to watch Wizard of Oz. Because Wizard of Oz, as we all know, very, very sexy. Aside from the rest of this stuff, Cannibal Holocaust, you probably don't want to watch because you're lame. Everyone should watch Cannibal Holocaust once and never again. Genre favorites, thrillers. Thriller. I'm not going to sing Thriller. Is Inland Empire a thriller? Oh, I see here you say, I suppose there's some overlap with my horror list, and some of these may strain the definition of thriller. Yeah, no doubt. But what do we have here? Assault on Precinct 13. That's more of an action film, isn't it? Persona, Heat, Night of the Hunter, Cache, or Cash. I forget how it's pronounced. High and Low, JFK. See, I would be putting some of these into different categories, honestly. Like JFK is a courtroom drama. Maybe it's a courtroom thriller, but I would consider it a courtroom drama before I would consider it a thriller. Zed, though, you're right on that one. That one is a thriller. And it should be number 1 if that's what we're doing here. And, should we check the second page? What's in the second page? Screenplays I've read. Oh, boy. You read the screenplay for Trainwreck? Why? Why? Were you trying to figure out what LeBron James said in his various scenes? He's in this, right? I think he's in Trainwreck, right? Yeah, he is. There he is. Tilda Swinton's in this as well. Maybe you were trying to figure out what she was saying. Little Children, Reservoir Dogs. Why are you reading Chinatown? Didn't Polanski write this? Didn't he write the script for this? Maybe he didn't, actually. Okay, Robert Town. Oh, yeah. I knew that. That wasn't Polanski. Anyways, fuck Roman Polanski. There, we do one every live stream. Ooh, science fiction ranked. How pretentious is this going to be? 2001: A Space Odyssey, Stalker, Phase 4. Really? The Saul Bass film? Look, I love Saul Bass's poster work, but this ain't much of nothing. I think it's cool that he actually went and made a movie, but like, to have that over Alphaville and Scanners and The Thing. Also, why is Valerian on here? What the fuck is Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets doing on this list? A ranking of some sci-fi films that I like to some extent. The best films top 3 are maybe 5 stars. The last 3 are maybe 3 stars. So what, you just don't watch science fiction films? What's up with that? Because like, this should be on no one's list of best science fiction films. In terms of its opening, in terms of its first 5 minutes, yeah, that was great. But like, to put Valerian over The Thing? No. No. Absolutely not. What is the City of Lost Children? Oh, right. Right. Anyways, that's bad. That's bad. Valerian being on here is bad. Everything else is kind of cool, but also like Videodrome should be here over Scanners as an example. But like, And no, I'm not going to look at your physical media collection. And no, I'm not going to look at your Hitchcock ranked. No one cares. No one cares about that. So let's see what your lowest ratings are. I assume we're going to have like Marvel films here. Shang-Chi, The Lost City, and Flick. Yo, if if these are the worst movies you've ever seen, you've lived a charmed fucking existence, let me tell you. Shang-Chi is not a half-star film. Neither is The Lost City. Like, good God. And like, obviously it's stupid when you look at some of the other stuff that's on here. 2 stars for Everything Everywhere All at Once. 1 star for Ghost World. 1 star for Cha-Cha Real Smooth. 1 star for Tokyo Drifter. I'm no great fan of Shinjin Suzuki's Tokyo Drifter, but I know it's better than a 1-star movie. Jesus. Like, to even contemplate House of Gucci being better than Tokyo Drifter, Cha-Cha Real Smooth, or honestly, even like The Lost City, is to delve into madness. Like, just no. Just no. Absolutely not. There's only 5 pages of these too. And I guess within that 5 pages, you give such classics as Yugetsu Monogatari and Touch of Zen only 3 stars. No Bears only 3 stars. The Thing only 3 stars. Yo. Jean Quro. No. So what do we got here? What's at the top? Children of Paradise, 5 stars. Marcel Carnet. Ah oui, l'enfant de paradis. Ah, bon, c'est bon. Eh non, n'est pas bon. N'est bon pas. I know French, guys. I know lots of French. JFK 2001 Reds. Not a lot of 5 stars. Respect that. Respect that. Werkmeister Harmonies. Un Hazard Balthazar. Elephants things. Yeah. Pretty pretentious. I don't know. Should we call this person a basic criterion bitch? Hold on. Should we? Let's see. That one's in there for sure. Zed is. High and Low. Paris. That is. Tree of Life, I think is. Heaven's Gate is. Hazard Balthazar is. I'm pretty sure the New Land is. Andrei Rublev is. Days of Heaven is. I think the Red Shoes is. Coeden is. Brighter Summer Day. Chunking Express. Divulge Vita. Marienbad. Persona. Clueless. Just kidding. Clueless is not in the Criterion Collection. Is that Napoleon from 1927? Yes, it is. Jeez Louise. Going back in time for that one. You know what? I feel confident calling this person a basic Criterion bitch. I feel very confident calling them a basic Criterion bitch, actually. Especially as we start going through this a little bit more. I'm sure we would find even more Criterion films if we delved deeper into this. So, guess what? Jean Quro, you're roasted. You're a basic Criterion bitch, and that's all we need to say about that. So who just jumped into chat? Who's here? I see a new person called Tsuki. Hello, Tsuki. What's up? How are you? Knox is here. Hello. Seti is here. Hi. Ella's here. What's going on? I just saw Whiplash at 2. Never mind. Profile officially sucks. C'est horrible. Hey, someone else to speak bad French with me. Rate Requiem. Me? You want me to do it? I'm seeing Oppenheimer tonight and airwatched Barbie yesterday. Wait, what does airwatched mean? You airwatched it? Excuse me. Yes, like Mad Max Fury Road. I don't even know what's going on there. Hey, Cinemateq, sorry I'm late. That's all right. That's what's great. That's what's great about the live streams. You can just join whenever you want. You can watch these later. You can like them whenever you want. It's good. It's all good. Did we get an answer from Felly about... Oh, okay. Oh, I think maybe, Felly, you were trying to put a link into chat, and YouTube doesn't allow that. You can't put links in chat. What the hell? What the hell? He says as he looks at this person's letterbox for the first time. Huh? Excuse me. Shout out to Airbud. Oui, petit croissant. Ah, petit croissant. De chocolat. Petit croissant de chocolat. Eh oui, c'est bon. C'est bon. Have you seen any Peter Greenaway films? Yeah, probably. I've seen a lot of shit. Letterboxd. Let's check. Letterboxd. Peter Greenaway being... I might be confusing him with someone else. It's the guy who directed some of the Bourne movies, right? Oh, no. That's like someone else. That's somebody else. Peter Greenaway. Oh, director of Greenaway. Greenaway. Yeah, the only thing I've seen from him is none of this. Oh, wait a minute. No. I saw Eisenstein in... I saw this movie. Yeah. I have seen this movie. Wow. I wonder how many people have seen this? 4,000. It's about 3,000 more than I would expect, to be perfectly honest. Let's turn this on for a second. Fade watch films. Yeah, I think it's just that one. Yeah. Why am I yawning so much? Although I do know the Cook, the Thief, the Wife, and the Lover is like an all-time classic. What is that, like a 4.1? Yeah, it's way up there. Should probably watch that. Also, A Z and Two Knots is the name of a Mars Volta song. So that's how I know about that one. But yeah, I'll put this one on my watch list. Should get to that eventually. So, I watched it while in the air, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Never knew I would shed a tear watching a Barbie movie. Oh boy. Cook Thief is among the top 10 films I've ever seen in my life. Nice. We'll have to leave soon. It's too bad. But this live stream will be available to watch after the fact, so don't even worry about it. I'm a bit confused about how the list works on Letterboxd. Does the comment have to be 2 weeks ago to get roasted? No. Just comment and that gets you eventually. Like the people I'm going after right now, they commented like 2 months ago. I'm just going through them point by point by point, unless they super chat, in which case they jumped the line. I have Felly's Letterboxd name. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry, everyone. Don't worry. I ain't waiting. I'm just chilling. You know, it's Friday. We're just chilling. Having a good time. Having maybe the best of times. Except for Felly, because now it's time for Felly to go into the well of fire and come out a scorched husk of a human being. And I guess Felly stands for Felancha from Sri Lanka, even though I think they said that they were in Italy. So I automatically have no idea what's going on here. Although Felancha, honestly, is a pretty sick name. So I'm just going to call you Felancha from now on. And here is Felancha's profile picture, looking very bored and disinterested. I hope you don't go through your entire life like this. So you are into girly pop, which is just another way of saying pop, by the way. You are in AR, so I guess Arizona? You're in Arizona as well? Or maybe that's meant to be Armenia? I really wish people were a bit more specific, aside from the fact that you did put Sri Lanka in your name. Be more specific, but not like this, because this is confusing. Also, Felancha here is letting us know that favorite films does not equal best films. Well, how the hell am I supposed to tell the difference? What are the films that you think are the best films? Is there going to be a list for that? There better be, because otherwise I'm going to have to get real personal with these favorite films. Take out that little bit of critical distance, because I know that sometimes when people put favorite films, they're saying what they think the best films of all time are, and then I can just go after that. But now that you're saying that these are your favorite films, the films that you love, now it's just going to get real personal. Kind of like how you have Breathless here, number 1. Wow, did you just start taking film studies recently? Did you just get to the segment of the course where they started talking about the French New Wave? Oh, were you really impressed by the jump cuts? Ooh, jump cuts. Wow. Whoa. Probably don't get any deeper than that when it comes to Breathless either, huh? Any other way that this film was revolutionary, or the way in which Jean-Luc Godard was making fun of Hollywood, making fun of genre conventions, putting forth his own ideas as to what auteur theory was, and having them seamlessly slither throughout all of Breathless? Probably don't even bother with that. You're probably just super into the jump cuts and maybe the kind of abusive relationship between the two lead characters. I guess it's kind of a noir, but we should probably just move on from that. And then, beyond it, or at least beside Breathless, we have Buffalo 66, a film which, as I recall, has nothing to do with the city of Buffalo, or does it? Billy is released after 5 years in prison. In the next moment, he kidnaps teenage student Layla and visits his parents with her, pretending she is his girlfriend, and they will soon marry. That sounds very odd, very strange. I hope this is not like a fantasy for you and that you want this to happen to you, because no one should ever want to get kidnapped, especially not a minor, by an older person who just got out of jail. Speaking of jail, we have Mad Max Fury Road, the kind of film that only a complete psychopath could actually enjoy watching, because you are just constantly waiting for the people who are doing all of these live stunts to die. That's what you're hoping. Every time you rewatch Mad Max Fury Road, you're looking at all the different parts of the frame that you haven't looked in yet, because you're convinced someone died on this movie and you need to prove it and draw pleasure from it. And you know what, Felancha? That's sickening. I'm sickened right now. And to cap it all off, we have Dr. Strangelove, a movie where people literally die in a nuclear explosion, capping off why I think you are a sicko. You're in sicko mode, Felancha, and I'm not here for it. You know what? I actually take it back here. Your impression or your expression is not detached. It's actually psychotic. and now I'm afraid for my own safety. So what's going on here in the recent activity? What have you been telling us about the films that you have been watching recently? We have Coraline here with a 5-star. Not surprising. Not surprising from someone who's into girl pop and nuclear explosions, honestly. Frank and Lola, 3 stars. No idea what that is. The Handmaiden with 3 stars. What did you say about The Handmaiden, and why was it only 3 stars? Portrait of a Lady on Fire, but instead of a woman writing from experience, it's a porn addict writing like M. Night Shyamalan. I take it all back, Felancha. You're cool. And we also have a review for The Last Samurai, which is just right here. I don't even need to click on anything. Could have been great, but intense Americanisms clouded everything. Huh, interesting. You mean the movie that literally ends with an American betraying his own country and telling Japan that it needs to go back to its traditional ways in order to remain a good country? That movie with its Americanisms? I think maybe you didn't think too hard about this film, Felancha. I think maybe part of this might have gone over your head just a bit. So what were your popular reviews? Oh my god, 9 likes. That's the most popular review that we've seen so far. Barbarian. This movie surprised me every step of the way and closed with a banger. Finally, some exciting, fresh horror movies. Lord. And honestly, I don't know what New Zealand singing sensation Lord has to do with this. I'm only mentioning it because, of course, you're into girl pop, so I can only assume that that is a reference to her, even though it's spelt wrong. But I don't know why this movie surprised you so much. I mean, there's the obvious thing about the thing that happens halfway through, but then the movie just turns into a typical old horror movie at the end. You can't just expect some kind of, scene change jump scare to count as something that is new and exciting and different and fun. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be something fundamental. And there's nothing fundamentally different about Barbarian except for maybe the fact that it was going on some kind of what do you call it? Poverty tourism. Yeah, Barbarian is also a little bit of poverty tourism, which also sucks. Your other most popular review here is OG's version, for Heathers the Musical. OG version's camp translates to cringy and stiff. I don't know what that means. Compared to the original, there's a distinct tonal change that makes me feel as if I'm watching an old Kenny Ortega film out of nostalgia, only to realize for the first time that it's actually really cringe. And I don't know. Could you not tell from, say, the cover of this film that there may be some cringe involved? I think that maybe this was communicated to you a bit more clearly than you'd like to admit. So what about the list? What do we got going on here in the list? Ooh, 5 lists. 5 whole lists. Oh, Godard ranked. Oh, bless your psychotic soul. Truly scary, no BS. I'm more interested in this, though. These are the films that you think are truly scary, and most of these are just middle-of-the-road horror films. Some of them are made well, certainly, but in terms of the scares, in terms of frightening, just middle-of-the-road stuff. The Ring, Hereditary, The Others, The Sixth Sense, 1408, most of these came out in right around the same period. The Others, Sixth Sense, 1408, I think. The Strangers. Just your basic either haunting movies or house invasion movies. Nothing really cool, interesting going on here. Also, most of these, aside from Pet Sematary, are new or were at least made in the last 20 years. Where's everything before that? Do you think that no actual good horror movies were made before, 1995? When did Pet Sematary come out? 1989? Oh, come on. There are actual good horror films that came out before that. And I'm also seeing something, a bit of a trend here. What was it? What was the trend that I saw? Oh yeah, it's mostly just jump scare movies, Sixth Sense has jump scares in it. The Ring certainly has jump scares in it. The Conjuring, Wreck, Insidious, Devil, Women in Black, Ron Turn. They're jump scare movies. None of these are actually truly scary. You're just making you go every now and again. God, you're probably going to put Oppenheimer on this list when you eventually see it, because yeah, there are some jump scares in it. And really effective ones, I will say. Y'all probably weren't expecting that, were you? Watch list from references with notes. I'm not even going to bother with that. But I do want to take a look at this Godard rank, because I have never in my life seen someone rank Jean-Luc Godard films on this stupid website that we all love. Oh my God, why does no one rank Jean-Luc Godard on their Letterboxd profile? And you have Breathless, Veuve sa vie, Masculine Féminin, A Woman is a Woman, Puer le Faux, Les Chinois, Bain de Pau, and Alphaville. And the fact that Alphaville is so low is sickening to me. Sickening. Alphaville is one of his better films. I personally would put it above Breathless because of the way that it deconstructs science fiction cinema in the same way that Breathless deconstructs noir cinema. And science fiction is obviously just better than noir. And it's one of the reasons why Blade Runner is my favorite film ever, because it does both of those things, noir and sci-fi at the same time. So you're just missing out. You're just missing out. Give Alphaville another chance. It's a wonderful, fantastic film. And I guess that's about all I'm going to say about that. So now I'm really actually interested about the films that you have in here. Considering what we've seen so far, what would be Felancha's half-star films? The Usual Suspects? Universally enjoyed The Universal Suspects? The Usual Suspects? Notice how I said universally enjoyed and not universally praised? I think everyone basically likes this movie. Very few people hate it. How many people gave it the same half-star rating that you did? 489 out of more than 500,000 people who have seen it, Felancha. Ooh, I guess you're cool because you're different. What is this? 32 Malasana Street? Malasana Street? Huh? Where's this from? It's a Spanish horror film, I guess. Oh, look, you can see creepy hands coming to get the child. Hooray, a haunted house movie. Cool. Maybe that's why it's a half-star, because it's just a typical old, boring haunted house film. A lot of half-stars here, more than you usually see than what people give out. So that's good. I appreciate that. I don't appreciate seeing Fast and Furious 6 at a 1 star. Come on now. Let this superhero movie be a superhero movie. Let it be good. Because it is. Also, Malignant? I thought you were into horror movies, Felancha. I thought you liked this shit. Have you never seen a giallo film in your entire life? Come on now. Leon at 1 star is fine. Luc Besson is a pedophile, so I don't mind that being 1 star. What else we got going on here? The Martian at 2 stars. The original Men in Black at 1.5 stars. No. Roma at 2 stars. No. Have I ever rated this? I gave it a 4. A very highly rated 4 out of 5, in my opinion. Probably should be higher, actually. What about on the high end, though? What movies do you love the most? And I think we've probably already established this. Ooh, Sound of Metal. That's good to see. 1917. You're into camera tricks. Boo. You're into movies that look really good. Gross. Breathless. We already talked about that. Oh, fucking La La Land. There was a moment, Felancha. There was a moment where I considered just giving you a compliment, letting you know that you're doing okay things. You even have the remake of Suspiria here at 5 stars. That could have been a moment for us to reconcile. And yet here you are, putting La La Land at a 5 star, like every other goddamn teenager, presumably, on this website. Jesus. No, we need to stop sucking this film's dick. We all collectively just need to stop. Karsten needs to stop. Amanda the Jedi needs to stop. This person from Toronto that I follow needs to stop. Whoever this person is, they need to stop. Trin needs to stop. We all just need to stop with the fellatio of La La Land. The fellatio. I tried to put LA in there. It didn't really work out too well. Aside from that, I'm not seeing too many things that I just completely out of hand disagree with. Yeah. Not bad. All right, let's take a look at that watch list, Felancha. Let's see if we can get you to watch a good goddamn movie. A good one. A good goddamn movie. Imagine if I just told her to watch Wonder Boys right now. Just out of nowhere was like, hey, why don't you watch Wonder Boys? Nope. I've never seen it, but like, it's just not the kind of film that I would usually recommend. Man, I remember seeing Perfect Storm in theaters when it came out. That was a rush. Okay. Just a quick thing about The Perfect Storm. This is not the recommendation, but like, I remember when this film came out in the year 2000, the main talking point about this film was how good the CGI water looked. No one cared about George Clooney or Marky Mark or anyone else involved in this film. No one cared that it was Wolfgang Petersen, director of Das Boot, coming around to do another shit movie. Like, no one gave a shit about that. Everyone was just talking about how good the water looked. And, like, this is how good the water looked. This is what watching movies in the year 2000 was like. Discussing how good the CGI water was. I'm so glad that we have progressed beyond that, where we now talk about how bad the CGI in Marvel films just universally is, and how great it is that Oppenheimer has virtually no CGI. I do question Christopher Nolan's assertion that there is no CGI in that film. There's a couple of shots that I wonder how they were achieved without computer imaging, but I don't know. Maybe they just got some really cool special effects artists to do some cool stuff. Oh man, hold on, actually. I have the opportunity right now to do something really funny. I need to do one more. I'm gonna look at one more. I think I'm gonna do. Oh, it's getting harder now. Oh, it's getting harder to do the funny thing. I'm gonna do it anyways. Fuck it. Watch Cruel Intentions. This movie's actually good. Actually good. This came out when Sarah Michelle Gellar, I believe, was still on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This was like, I think for a lot of people, like everyone talks about how The Mummy was their queer or their bisexual awakening film. I think Cruel Intentions should also be included on that list, considering they both came out in 1999. And no one else is going to tell you to go watch Cruel Intentions. So I'm going to tell you to go watch Cruel Intentions. This shit's actually kind of good. And like, look at that. Look at that. You get to watch Selma Blair and Sarah Michelle Gellar make out. Kind of ruining one of the climaxes of one of the best parts of the film. But yeah, just go watch Cruel Intentions. There you go. There's a left field one for you. And I mean, as Paul has pointed out here in the chat, like a lot of these are really good movies, so you're not going to go wrong. But fuck it, go watch Cruel Intentions. That shit's great. And if you'd rather watch a revolutionary film, watch The Battle of Algiers. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Fela, I hope you, or Feli? Felancha, I hope you enjoyed your roast. There you go. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. So what's going on here in the chat here? I see some people are adding me and stuff. What's going on there? Good horror, yes. Scary horror, not so much. Wait, what? He rates Godard, but hasn't even seen... I love the people here who just assumes that the person who watches Godard is a dude. Way to gender people unnecessarily, guys. I just learned yesterday that the sci-fi noir is called tech noir. It can be. I don't call it that. I don't know. I think tech noir needs to focus more on the actual technology at play. I wouldn't call Blade Runner a tech noir because it doesn't really get into the nuts and bolts of how the world works, like mechanically. It's more just like, hey, we've got them. Like, okay, I think that if you're gonna call something tech noir, it needs to be like, think about it like this. Think about it like this. If you want to think about the approach to just science fiction in general, you have like hard sci-fi and soft sci-fi. Star Wars being an example of soft sci-fi, where like no one really talks about how hyperspeed works, they just do it, and no one really talks about how the lightsabers work, they just work. Whereas on the hard sci-fi side, you have Star Trek, where they're constantly like engineering and fixing things and telling you all the different shit that needs to happen in order for them to not go splat when they go to warp and all that kind of stuff. And so I think Blade Runner is more on that soft sci-fi side, whereas like a tech noir film, it would be something that I would put on the Star Trek side. But of course, they would need to have that that connection to the noir genre as well. So yes, there you go. La La Land is awesome. You're alone on this, Cinemateq. That's the thing. I think that it is that La La Land is like a 3 out of 5. I don't hate the film, but I hate the fact that it shows up so often in people's like top fours. And I think someone here probably said that it's like one of the most liked films or something like that. I think I saw that. Never seen La La Land. Actually, I'm not sure if I should. I mean, you should watch every movie you possibly can. And it was a film that almost won the Oscar for Best Picture a few years ago. And it's directed by Damien Chazelle, who's one of the better working directors that we have currently. I don't want to say, like, don't watch La La Land. But, like, I just hate that so many people love it so much, you know? It's one of those things where, like, you don't understand why so many people love, like, Justin Bieber, you know? But yet seemingly everyone fucking loves Justin Bieber. That was the best pop reference I could make to best illustrate this, right? To me, La La Land is like the Justin Bieber of cinema. It's not necessarily bad. I just don't understand why so many people like it. Winning Best Picture doesn't mean anything. Remember Crash? I mean, I'm not going to devalue the Oscars entirely. I do, and also when Crash won Best Picture, they were doing voting in a different way. They've changed the way that they do the voting. So Best Picture is actually more better. But yeah. And also Eli, thank you so much for upgrading your membership to the Cinemaniac level. For those of you who don't know, people who subscribe or join, have the channel membership, I'm not sure what the correct way to say it is, at the Cinemaniac level, they get an additional bonus live stream every month where I go through and rank every single film that I watched in the previous month. And anytime I upload a video that's just got a whole bunch of profanity in it, then they will have access to the uncensored version of that video, whereas the one that gets released to everyone will be censored. So couple of cool things to get when you join at the Cinemaniac level. Oh, do you not like Crash? Well, it depends on which Crash we're talking about. Cronenberg's Crash is great. The other Crash is stupid. I put my username in chat again since it was skipped. Oh, thank you for doing that. I was preoccupied. Have I roasted you? I don't know. Let's check. So, I'm not seeing you listed there. How much further would I have to go back to find it if it's anywhere? Oh, it might be something else. Oh, Letterboxd. Display names being different than usernames. Ooh, yeah, I don't recognize this one. Did I not? Did I? So, it appears as though you are way down the list, Christina, way down the list. If you want to scroll up, if you're looking at the list right now, in fact, I can just show this. So like, there's wait, where did you go? There's you, and then we are still up here somewhere. Actually, yeah, we're still in the 2-month range, I think. Still in the 2-month. Movie Cat Lumber. Are we? Did I go too far? No, I don't think so. Yeah, there's a few people ahead of you. There's also this one here, which is also your namesake, but it's a different one. So if this is you instead, then there's still people ahead of you. Still people ahead of you. Yeah, we're about here. Yeah, we're about like here, I think. Yeah, we're about here because we're about to do Casey. So yes, you haven't been skipped. You're just far down in the list. I think the bigger distinction is between having a film where there's just generally a lot of sci-fi elements versus a film where there's one specific piece of technology that the plot revolves around. But even if there's a specific piece of technology that doesn't exist or can only be possible in the future, I would still qualify that as sci-fi. Or are you thinking that that's what tech noir is? I started watching Videodrome but stopped halfway through. When I go back, should I finish it or restart it? How long ago did you watch it? Oh, I thought you were further along. Sorry, my bad. No worries, no worries. Most of my hot takes are positive opinions to hated films. Hold on. Why do I smell burning? Rocco, are you lighting a fire? I guess one of my neighbors is cooking. And they're... Yeah, it smells like burnt toast, but I'm not having a seizure. If you saw Videodrome like a week ago, you know what? I think you should probably restart it. Because there's some details in the beginning. The film really works best when you watch everything back to back to back. It's the smoke from the roasting. God, how did I not think about that? I don't know how this would happen, but imagine an interaction between Cinemateq and Sean Chandler talks about. They would argue for days. I'm actually a very agreeable person, but I don't know who this person is. Are they on the YouTubes? Sean Chandler talks about it? Is that who we're talking about? Okay, he's like what? A YouTube person? This person right here. Oppenheimer movie review. I don't know. You think we would argue? Why would we argue? Seem like they're just like a film content creator. I don't know. Is a YouTube critic. Cronenberg is just not my cup of tea. I don't know why. I really wanted to enjoy it. It depends on the Cronenberg that you watch. He kind of changes throughout the decades. He's a bit of a film chameleon. Although he's always dedicated to the body horror and exploring that. Cinemateq plus Karsten collab could be interesting. I mean, I don't think Karsten would do that until I am much further along. I don't think anyone that's got like over 100K subs is gonna deal with someone at my size. So yeah, not something that I'm currently worried about. Sean Chandler has a blockbuster fetish, then yeah, we probably wouldn't get along. I watch blockbusters, but I mostly do not care for them. So there you go. TJ might be the roast master, but as a true Canadian, he gets along with everyone IRL. I mean, that's not a bad assessment, although I don't get along with fascists. Fascists and bigots and we really don't see eye to eye on anything. The only Cronenberg I've seen was Scanners. I liked it, but the lead performance was just so not good. How dare you say a bad thing about Michael Ironside? I served him in a Tim Hortons once. Don't you dare say a bad word about Michael Ironside. Wait, Carson Runquist is like, how do I describe him? He makes awesome videos, but he basically hates every movie. That's not true. That's not true. If you ever watch his videos where he like breaks down what he watches in a month, he gives quite a few films like 3, 4s, and 4.5s and 5s occasionally. Like he likes movies. He likes movies. Sean Chandler's top 5 are Aliens, Empire Strikes Back, Die Hard, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Terminator 2. Jesus Christ, is he me when I was like 13 years old? Because that's what that top 5 says to me. That's what I would have told you. Literally, I would have told you my top 5 films of all time when I was like 14, maybe 13 to 15, would have been Aliens, Empire, Die Hard, Raiders, and Terminator 2. Maybe Clerks thrown in there as well. But yeah, like those all would have been there. Top 10, certainly. And, I've just moved on. My opinion's changed over the years. Yeah, Scanners and Dope, but not his best. Dead Ringers and Videodrome are the king cronies. Hell yeah. And Clerks is great. I know that. You don't have to tell me that. I know that for sure. I was the first person who ever knew it. Just kidding. But of course, I'm not going to be talking about... Oh, I should have just done that full burp instead of hiding it. Anyways, it's time for the roast of Casey. And the thing that I love the most about Casey is this profile picture. I can only imagine this is a dream of hers to get proposed to, and this is just what she wanted to represent her in this wonderful profile picture. It was a raccoon, also known as the Scourge of Toronto. So naturally, I will now be thinking of Casey as a thing that almost ripped my face off when I was coming home a number of years ago because there were no exterior lights on a basement apartment that I used to live in. So guess what, Casey? The honeymoon's over. It's time for the roast. And apparently, fun fact, Casey has seen a movie, which is incorrect. Casey has seen 462 movies. So already 3 seconds into this roast, and we're finding lies. Nothing but dirty, filthy lies. Exactly what I would expect from a trash panda like Casey. Trash panda is another thing that we call raccoons in Toronto. I'm sure it's a very common thing, but I just thought I should let you know that. And what do we have here in the favorite films? We've got Pink Floyd, The Wall, Get Out, Jaws, and Loving Vincent. And just by seeing Loving Vincent and Pink Floyd, The Wall, I know that Casey is a degenerate drug user. What? You smoke too much reefer, can't hold down a proper job? Is that why your location is Mars, but it's misspelled with a Z? You've got some Wu-Tang Clan and some Insane Clown Posse playing on the stereo and you're watching Pink Floyd, The Wall, just a bunch of reefer in your fucking body? You goddamn degenerate. Get a job, why don't you? Also, though, Get Out and Jaws are good, so we'll just move on from this very, very quickly. And while you've been super high, you've also been watching Super Troopers. And I can't believe how good some of these transitions end up being. Maybe I'm just correct about people. And of course Super Troopers would have Casey giggling, because you're high all the time. Your schnozberries constantly taste like schnozberries. Geez Louise. But then you also gave number 2 a 1.5 stars and said no. Even though this film has nothing to do with Canada, I have a feeling that that's a bad thing to do with Canada. Risky Business, 3.5 stars. It goes to show that if you open a brothel, you can do anything. I mean, I guess that's true, but it also just doesn't mean that you can do anything. I mean, it does mean that you can go to jail. You can definitely go to jail if you open a brothel, which is stupid, by the way. Sex work is work, and sex work should be legal. And brothels, I think, are bad because of the ways that sex workers can be exploited by, like, pimps and stuff. But if we were to do them properly and legislate them properly and make it so that women and men and all people felt safe selling their bodies for money, which is what labor is, no matter what kind of labor you're doing, then we would be living in a much better society. Anyways, Brokeback Mountain is here and it only got 2.5 stars. I am now waiting for Knox to come up in the chat and tell me how furious they are. I wanted to love this movie, but it just wasn't. But I just wasn't able to reach me. I just wasn't able to reach me. I just wasn't able to entirely understand this review because of your grammar not being so good. So what's going on with the popular reviews? Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot. Is this even out yet? Wait, is this even out yet? I don't think this is out yet, is it? Yeah, no, this isn't a film yet. This isn't even out yet. This movie has some shots done in my hometown in Massachusetts. My parents took me out of school to go see them filming. From what I saw, it looks like it is set in the 70s, and I'm very excited for this film, September 9, 2022. Yeah. This movie's not out yet. You reviewed it, and it got 6 likes. But it's not a movie yet. It's not a movie yet. The fuck? Also, I guess Pink Floyd The Wall, you did give a review to through the clouds of smoke that you exist in. This is what happens when men don't go to therapy. Oh, there are so many films that better illustrate that than Pink Floyd The Wall. Have you seen Falling Down with Kirk Douglas? Now Michael Douglas. There's a film about what happens to men if they don't go to therapy. So, yeah. I don't know about that one for sure. How about the list, though? There's 13 of them. That's a lucky number if you're cool like me. 100 Movies Bucket List Poster. These are the movies I haven't seen that are left on my scratch-off poster. Oh, so there's 58 of them. I guess this is what, the IMDb Top 100 or something like that? Great. Just missing out some of the all-time best films of all time, and Leon, directed by a pedophile. Summer Watch List. Don't care. Short films. Don't care. To watch with mom. Ooh, which films are going to be kind of not interesting, or maybe very interesting to watch with your mother? Dazed and Confused will probably be great because while watching this film, your mother is going to tell you how you were conceived. So definitely recommend that you do that one. Rosemary's Baby would be another great one to watch with your mom because she was probably going to tell you how you were conceived. God, I love that joke. What's another good one to watch with your mom? What films have I watched with your mom that she definitely loved? Never mind. We were Netflix and chilling, and we weren't Netflixing. If you get my meaning. I had sex with your mom. You don't have to get my meaning. I'll just say it out loud. Another good film to watch with your mom, though. There's got to be another joke here about you being conceived. I'm not seeing it. Maybe someone else in the chat will pick it out. I'm gonna move on though. Actually, wait. No. I just saw it. You should maybe watch Clerks with your mom, and then she can tell you that that is how you were conceived. And if you've seen Clerks and you're not quite sure what I'm thinking about, it's the climax of the film, if you will. So, Scream Ranked. That's a list that I don't care about. Black Mirror is not a film. That's a TV show. The Masculine Urge 2 movie. Movies that I have seen that really do, man. Huh? Wait, why is Halloween the Masculine Urge 2? It's got a final girl who wins. You know? Unless you're talking about the masculine urge to, like, murder your family. In which case, okay. The View Askew Universe Ranked. I mean, Mallrats number 1 is just immediately correct. I don't even need... Incorrect, excuse me. I don't even need to get into that. Personal opinion only. You can form your own, but this is mine. No, my opinion is supreme. Bang. Spider-Man No Way Home number 1. That's stupid. Clearly it should be Spider-Man 2, the original, which you have at number 7. Whoa. You have done Tobey Maguire so dirty here. And I just kind of want to escape from this hellfire as quickly as possible. So let's take a look at the films. Casey. Oh, man. The half stars. What are the half stars going to be? Road Trip? Licorice Pizza. Now, there's a film you do not often see in the half star. Did they give a reason? Oh, I guess I don't know. Shit. I would love to know why they gave Licorice Pizza a half star. I would love to know that. But what else is going on here? Halloween 2 stars? That's wrong. That's so wrong. Why do you think it's just as good as Elvis and Wakanda Forever? It's an all-time classic horror movie. Oh, God, I'm yawning and burping at the same time. There's so much coming out of my body that is not just, like, rage. Like, everything's coming out of my body right now. Even sweat. Some sweat's coming out. I probably have that demon inside of me coming out. I've been possessed for the last few hundred years. Man, it's been a good run. Also, yeah, Airplane at half star is fuck that. No, incorrect. Absolutely not. I will not stand that. To think that goddamn Justice League is better than Airplane is ridiculous. Redonkulous. Redoublianculous, if you will. Wreck-It Ralph? We're the Millers, North Hollywood. Wait, North Hollywood? Is that a movie about Canada? A kid must decide between choosing the future his father wants and following his dream of becoming a pro skater. We don't have pro skaters in Canada. Why is this North... Oh, wait. North Hollywood, not Hollywood North. Never mind. I figured it out. We're okay. Also, did you guys know that Friday the 13th and Chippendale Rescue Rangers are exactly the same in terms of quality? Yep, you can't tell this person otherwise. Oh, yeah, and also Aladdin is 2.5 stars, and that's the original Aladdin. That's not the remake. Never mind, it's the remake. Haha! Watch as I move on and go to something else to hide up the fact that I just screwed up. So, the 5 stars, the big ones, the big guns, the Shooter McGavins. We've got some interesting opinions. Do the Right Thing, Whiplash. Fine. No problem. Rocky Picture Horror Show. Okay. Whatever. I'm not mad. John Mulaney doing a comedy special as a 5 star. That is as good as The Shining. That's as good as The Shining. That's as good as Do the Right Thing, as Jaws, even, as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, as Get Out. a comedy special? What sort of wonderful mise-en-scène and cinematography and sound design existed in this John Mulaney comedy special? Excuse me? Excuse me? No, I will not excuse you. You're not excused. The roast is not done yet. And I see here that you have a Goofy movie at 5 stars, and that would be interesting to me as a 10-year-old when I watch that movie 1,000 times in a row. But as an adult, I can recognize that there are perhaps better movies than a Goofy movie. Also, the new Suicide Squad being at 5 stars right along Scream is ridiculous. I've said ridiculous a lot in this roast, and I think it's true. I just think it's true. Kind of like how films like Deadpool and Super Troopers are just as good as the Monty Python films and The Princess Bride. Huh? Also, more comedy specials being rated way higher than they should be. Or in fact, the fact that they were rated at all. Get the comedy specials out of here. No one likes to laugh. People hate laughing. Stop trying to make people laugh. But I'm a cheerleader at 5 stars, but Brokeback at 2.5. So homophobic, but only to men. Interesting take. Interesting take. So I think that's about all that I'm gonna say for Casey. I think that's it. I think that's about as far down this rabbit hole as I want to go. Boo. Oppenheimer top 3 Nolan. I think that is a somewhat fair assessment. Having seen the film yesterday, I intend on seeing it at least once more, although I may end up seeing it twice more, just because of the different formats, and I want to make sure I see all the different cool ones. Although for me to see Oppenheimer in 70mm IMAX, I'm going to have to get on a subway and a bus for like an hour and a half to go to a theater that's not downtown, because the only downtown Cineplex, or the only downtown movie theater that has a 70mm IMAX projector is currently undergoing renovations. So fuck everyone, I guess, in this city of like 5 million people. Get on the subway and go north. But there's also a non-IMAX 70mm presentation happening in downtown Toronto, so I'll probably see that as well. But I am a bit worried because the last time I went to see a 70mm film there, which was Babylon. I saw Babylon twice, projected in 70mm. They definitely overexposed the image. The light was a little bit too bright. And there was certainly some detail lost in the image. So I'm a little bit concerned, but at least this time, having seen it in regular old digital IMAX first, I will be able to judge whether or not it's been overexposed, instead of having my first experience with the film be informed by the fact, or colored by the fact, that it was overexposed. Anyways, what's going on here? Yeah, I don't trust people who give lesbian movies a high rating and gay movies a low rating. Same with women who only highly rate gay movies but won't touch lesbian movies. Feels fetishy. TJ, we would be honored to welcome you for Barbenheimer here in New York City. Okay, when I said I needed to travel to go see Oppenheimer in its best, I didn't mean New York City. I meant the city of Vaughan, like an hour and a half north of downtown Toronto by subway. Probably take me like half an hour to get there if I drove there, but I don't have a car because cars are stupid. Some of these I've seen with my dad. Watch Nope, the same thing your mom said after you were born. Nice. Good one. Got him. Even dabbed right after. Good for you. Good for you. Take your victory laps. Tom Green put a mouse in his mouth. Okay. No Way Home is my second Under Across the Spider-Verse. All right. I don't see it as homophobic. What if they just didn't like it? This politics stuff is weird. I'm just memeing. No, but real talk, I really need to drive up to Montreal. I've had enough of the city this summer. Yeah, Montreal's pretty sick. Montreal's a pretty sick place. I love that. I love that. And Hawk, to your point about the politics stuff, it's just people talking about their experiences. I'm not too worried about it. I'm adding on to Dollface, who was just memeing. Y'all are wild. Y'all are wild. So, I guess maybe we should just do another roast, right? Good roasting. Good roasting. Because, yeah, I want to do some more of these. I'm going to try this to be a bit of a... Do I want to do... Oh, wait, what? Oh, this person's... Oh, do I want to do this as a fast one? Do I even want to do this one? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. I'm sorry you had to see my tongue like that. It's not my intention to gross you out. So I guess now it's time for the Roast of Max. Hello, Max. This is, of course, the character from the original Mission Impossible film. You can see them pictured here in disguise. And so they look very different than what Vanessa Redgrave looked like in the original Mission Impossible. Also, I would never dress like this. This is way too much like, hey, I'm in a prog band in the 70s and I'm not exactly sure where our friend left the drugs. And by their friend, they mean the drummer, because of course the drummer lost the drugs. That's the only thing they're good for. So Max has nothing going on in their bio, and all we have to go off of here are the favorite films, which include Pusher 3, not Pusher 1 or 2, but Pusher 3, Thomas Vinterberg's The Celebration, Whitnall and I, and My Dinner with Andre. And you know what? That's 3 Criterion films in the favorites. I wonder what kind of fun, cool things we're going to find out about them in the future. And I will say about this, specifically with The Celebration, that I'm wondering if Max here is into maybe a different style of filmmaking than some of the people that we've seen before. Maybe Max is all about the low-key films, the indie films, the micro-budget films. Certainly Whitnall and I and My Dinner and Andre, a little bit of a higher tier than that, but The Celebration was a great example of a film that you could make with just DV cameras back in the day, and I think Pusher 3 probably has a similar aesthetic to that, from what I recall of those films, because this is also, I think, a Nicholas Winding Refn film. Yeah, it's shot on film, I do believe, and it's like, I don't know, gory probably. It's probably gory. So now we move down to the recent activity with this in mind, and we see Cannibal Ferox, which is a different cannibal movie from Cannibal Holocaust, Madman, Black Metal Veins, and Sunken Danish. What is Sunken Danish? Boring August Underground wannabe. It's like a really bad, not funny Ostermontag. And I know what all of these words mean individually, except for this one, but I'm not quite sure what this is referring to. I think the August Underground is the person who directed Black Metal Veins, right? No, that was Lucifer Valentine. I have so much confusion. Watched half last night and then the rest today. I love grim, dirty, bleak films, and this is exactly that, so I really enjoyed it. Oh my god. Isn't this movie about heroin addicts? It's so much better than Perfect Child of Satan. I'll have to check out the Vomit Gore trilogy now. So many words that I was not expecting to see in a row today. Vomit Gore trilogy, certainly at the top. Oh god. Oh god. What do they have to say about Cannibal Ferox, actually? Now I'm curious about what this person thinks about everything for some reason. Fun watch. Didn't expect the animals stuff. How could you not expect the animals stuff? Isn't this film come out like in and around or after Cannibal Holocaust? Of course it's going to have animal stuff in it. But also wasn't surprised. Oh, wait, didn't expect the cannibal stuff, but also wasn't surprised? Huh? What are you, a walking contradiction? I'm glad I stuck with it through because this is a hilarious movie. Ah, yes. Cannibal Ferox, well known for being a barrel of laughs as we look at an image of a woman probably covered in poop, human excrement, and blood and stuff, begging for her life. Very funny movie. Typically well known as a funny movie. So funny. So incredibly funny. Anyways, why don't we see what their popular reviews are? Ostermontag. Hey, it's that word we didn't know about. Hilarious and disturbing in respective scenes. The kick jogging was one of the highlights. Kick jogging? Kick jogging? Kick jogging? The hell? A film, oh, aka Snuff Holocaust? Oh, so this is a snuff film. This is... Yo, look at this review. Scorsese would call Marvel cinema after watching this. I think that probably tells us all we need to know about this. Oh, look at this film coming to us from Massacre Video. Jeez. So I guess they have snuff films on Letterboxd. Great. Also, we have a review here for Melancholia. I love the idiots breaking the waves in the house that Jack built. I just found Melancholia to be tedious and stale in comparison. That's probably because the first half of Melancholia is just kind of doing the celebration, except without the fun turn and twist. And by fun, I mean depressing, because you find out about sexual abuse against children. So, 2 lists. I wonder how many of them talk about Quentin Tarantino. I'm guessing none of them, considering what we've seen so far. 250 favorite films, and Hellraiser ranked worst to best. Well, there's a list you don't see every day. I've only seen one Hellraiser film, so the fact that they put the one that I've seen number 1 means that I am correct. As for how the rest of these are ranked, I have no goddamn idea. Can people who've seen all the Hellraiser films tell me if this is good and or bad? I don't know for sure. I wonder how wild the celebration gets. The celebration doesn't get as wild as you think. Also, this person spells favorite with a U, which means they're either from Canada or from just a British colony. Interesting. But yeah, no, the celebration gets wild, but it doesn't get wild in like a snuff film type way. It's very highly emotional. And that's that. You know, there's like very little violence, and the violence that there is just like people who don't fight trying to like fight, and they just end up kind of like aggressively hugging each other, you know, that kind of stuff. So, their top 250 favorite films of all time. Let's see if we should report this person to the police. The idiots we've got here. What are the ones that are kind of objectionable? Not Faces, not Mysterious Skin, The Chaser, Paddleton. I don't even know what that is. Bleeder, that sounds like it could be not great. Oh, it's a Winding Refn film they did with Mads Mikkelsen back in, 1999? If anyone wants to see a young Mads Mikkelsen, here you go. Lenny works in a video shop and tries to get acquainted with the waitress Leah. Leo can't cope with the pressure of becoming a father, leading to trouble with his pregnant wife and especially her brother. Cool. Sounds fun. Ooh, look, The Bride of Frank. Too disturbing to watch, too compelling to turn away. Disturbed and hideously ugly warehouse worker Frank dates, then murders women who are not nice to him. Then he mutilates and disposes of their corpses, helped out by his friends. Awesome. What an awesome, awesome movie that must be. Shinjuku Triad Society, directed by Takashi Miike. Not surprised to see a Miike film on here. I Am Santana, Your Angel of Death. Oh, is that... No, not... I don't want to know about a Wim Wenders film. The falsely accused of robbing a bank and must find the real robbers and clear his name. That sounds kind of straightforward, actually. I was expecting something a little different. Wouldn't you guess it? There's Irreversible. Since it's Friday, everyone take a drink every time you see the Irreversible poster. You are now on like 4 and should be drunk. Rainy Dog, again by Miike. Michael Lee's Naked, Dead or Alive, which I think is also a Miike film. Wait, no, is Dead or Alive Miike? Yeah, it is. Hey, look at that bazooka. That's cool. Friday Bazooka, everyone. Yeah, a lot of Miike films on here. All right. I'm not going to look through the rest of this. I'm just going to see what films I have rated as a half star, because based on what this guy watches, I can only imagine what the bad ones are. Oh, it's Men in Black 3. Yo, I fucking love movies where, like, I can't tell if people are actually getting murdered or not, and I kind of want them to be getting murdered, you know? Like, the movie would be a lot better for me if they were actually getting murdered. But Men in Black 3 just didn't really do it for me. It's kind of boring. Yeah. Jack and Jill also wasn't great. Daddy's Home, not my favorite. Reminded me of my relationship with my father, which was that there wasn't really much of one. But, you know, I really was able to find myself when I started watching Irreversible every day for months and months at a time. And then I just started watching more movies where, women get murdered a lot. Watch a lot of movies where women get murdered. But yeah, just Men in Black 3 just didn't work for me. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't explain why Men in Black 3 just didn't work for me. But I guess maybe if there was just some more murdered women in it, I would have I would have been much better with it. I would have been okay with it. Where was the other officer with my Coca-Cola that I asked for? I've been waiting for that Coca-Cola for a while. I'm sorry, you want to know where the bodies are buried? Oh, I'm not going to tell you that. That would ruin the fun. Would you rather hear my opinions about Men in Black 3 and why it's the weakest of the 4 Men in Black films, even though there's the 4th international one, which is, I think, probably I can't do it anymore. Oh man. Anyways, why don't we continue on with this? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna look at the 5 stars. Oh dear. Well, I mean, it's just gonna be all the films that we just saw, right? Basically, films where where women get murdered. So, yeah, I guess that's that. I guess that's all we need to do for Max. Oh god. Oh, Hook, you were dying? Hook, you were dying? Oh man. You if you record that and put it into a film, Max will really enjoy it. If you record yourself dying. Yeah. Not the white voice black comedians use. Oh, is that what it is? I just took like all of the personality and took my voice down an octave. That's what I did. I took all the personality out, so then it's more just like this, and then I just kind of dropped it a little bit. Hi. No, officer, I don't know what's going on. So the regular TJ voice is what? It's this. This is the regular TJ voice. This is the regular TJ voice. You guys always hear a slightly more excited version of my voice because I'm in front of a camera, and that means that I'm more likely to talk in a more, rapid pace, a little bit more emphasis on all my words and things like that. Usually if I'm not live streaming, I'm probably more talking like this. It's a little bit toned back. It's a little bit, a little bit more monotone. Not as much excitement in it. But then if I do get excited about something, then I kind of get back into live stream voice, kind of in this way where everything needs to be exciting and cool and awesome and exciting. So yeah, that's kind of the difference. I also find that when I'm talking in my more laid back normal voice, my voice tends to get a little bit deeper as well, because obviously the air is moving a little bit slower. If you talk faster, then things tend to get a little bit more high pitched. Then when you talk slower, it tends to get a little bit whatever. It's really hard. It's really hard to talk in a deep voice and quickly at the same time. In fact, I don't know if you can. I don't think I can. Hello. I'd like to tell you, but no, even that gets higher. Even that pitches up. It's like that thing CinemaSins does, but instead of no lap dance in this scene, it's women is not being subjected to gratuitous violence in this scene. How are you? Wait, hold on. Are you comparing me to CinemaSins? Because we don't do that around here. The world may never know, we'll never know where the bodies are hidden. Should I turn that into an ongoing character? Maybe that person will appear later on in further live streams, and we'll find out where the bodies are buried eventually, but only after we get that person's very honest opinion on why Men in Black 3 is a half-star film. I have finally risen. It's my mission to get roasted into oblivion. Well, Jared, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. The house that TJ built? No! That gets an Australian no from me. Oh, someone talking about Hellraiser. Hellraiser 1 is solid, which I agree. Lots of great practical bloody effects. Yeah, for sure. Hellraiser 1 is cool. Have you seen Angst? I recommend if you want to be disturbed. No, I've definitely seen it. I've seen Angst before, and yeah, I think it's a very good movie, but it's fucked. And I think when I saw it, I saw Angst at the exact right time in my life, because it was, I think, at the end. It was around Guardians of the Galaxy 1 when that came out. And guys, don't call me white TJ. I am white TJ. Look at me. I'm already white. Don't try to tell me that I have not been white this entire time. But no, yeah, I saw Angst when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and it was around that time when I started to just really reconcile, or at least notice, that there's so much needless and cheap death in Hollywood blockbuster cinema. If you remember Guardians of the Galaxy, there's the one scene where the entire Nova Corps basically blows up and like 5,000 people die, and it's like a 2-second thing, and and it's just nothing. It's a nothing thing, you know? Like all of those people just had to die for like the pretty special effect, and that was it. And so when I saw Angst, it was refreshing to see a film that actually showed how fragile life is, but also how, well, not even how fragile life is, but just like how hard it is to actually kill someone, you know? Something you often see in like a film is that, you know, random good guy will shoot random henchmen in the head, and then you just move on from that, and it's like, oh, death is so easy, death is so quick. And Angst as a film really doubles down on showing how difficult it is to actually end someone's life. And I will always respect it for that, because I feel like by doing that, even though it is showing the gruesome death of a couple of different people, not even really gruesome, but it's not gory from what I remember. It's just very personal, the way that you watch people, die in that film. And so I give it a fair amount of respect for actually showing, for not treating the victims as like disposable, you know? You see them fight, and you see them fight a lot, and it is terrifying, and it's grim, certainly, but I think it is I think it's something that I think it's a film that I'm glad that it exists. Most disturbing movie you've ever seen? It's probably Cannibal Holocaust. Again, I don't really go that far into like super gory movies. Like, I don't search that stuff out. I'm not the kind of person who's gonna go like find like Salo, or like go watch Salo, or go watch a Serbian film or things like that. I don't need to see it, although I'll probably watch Salo one day because it's a big part of film history. But yeah, probably Cannibal Holocaust is the most disturbing one I've seen. And like, I think that Cannibal Holocaust is a very important film in film history. I've talked about this before. It's like one of the first films, if not the first film, to have found footage in it, be like a found footage film. So it helped birth that entire subgenre. It's also an infamous film because of the violence in it, how good the special effects were, to the point where people actually thought that the people were dead, and the director was arrested because people thought that the actors were killed in the film. Like, people thought it was a real snuff movie, and like, to have special effects be that good, they have to be very, very good. And I think some of the stuff they did in that film was incredibly well constructed, even though it was very gruesome. I wouldn't say that I like Cannibal Holocaust. I can just appreciate it as a milestone moment in cinema, and a film that everyone should probably watch once. They just need to be very prepared for what they're going to see. 11, I don't know what that is. I think we're talking about the amount of Hellraiser movies? Jeez. The live stream took a dark turn. Yeah, occasionally. Hi, TJ. How's your Friday so far? Pretty good. Just talking about snuff movies, you know. Same old, same old. Hello, Victor, as well. Thank you very much for joining us. So, also, I don't have glasses to wear for that character, unfortunately. My eyesight's just too good. And I'm not going to put on my sunglasses because then I would look like a cool person. And obviously that character can't be cool. So what's everyone seeing this weekend? Is anyone doing the Barbenheimer double bill? I will say, I was at my theater yesterday, or one of the theaters I go to, and it looked like they were getting really into Barbie as like a thing. Like, I think employees at the movie theater, and this is like a big corporate movie theater, so, you know, personality is not encouraged in the employees, but they were encouraged to wear pink from what I can tell, and there were a few employees wearing pink, which was pretty cool. But like, so many people, women especially, were showing up to the movie theater just like dressed up like Barbie, wearing pink, doing all kinds of stuff. And then there were dudes showing up for it wearing like those kinds of Hawaiian shirts that Ken is famous for. And so it was kind of interesting to see in my screening of Oppenheimer the people coming in who were dressed like that. So I was able to like very easily pick out who was doing the Barbenheimer double bill. And I was like, yo, good for them. better cinephiles than me. I probably would have done that if I had been a bit more quick on the draw. I could have gone to see Barbie before Oppenheimer, but instead I saw it was sold out, or it was very sold out by the time I checked. So instead I saw a Chinese film, which I can't even remember the name of though, which was so goddamn silly, but it was kind of fun. I want to get into Dario Argento's Mother trilogy. Going to restart Suspiria after this live stream. Liking it a lot. More on this rewatch. Yeah, Suspiria is great. Suspiria is great. I don't know about the Mother trilogy though. What else is involved in the Mother trilogy? Is it Inferno and the Mother of Tears? Forget the movies that are in it. The Three Mothers trilogy. Hey, Suspiria, Inferno, Mothers of Tears. Look at that. Look at that. Off the top of my fucking head. Guy just pulls up some Italian films that he's probably never seen. Although I have seen Suspiria. I don't know if I've seen Inferno, actually. I feel like I have. Mother of Tears, I don't think I ever got around to, though. And I think, honestly, it's kind of a loose trilogy. So, yeah. Don't look for too many... Oh, I guess it does actually share some actors. This is cool. I didn't know this happened on Wikipedia. They got the starring over here, and it tells you like which one of the movies that they were in. 1 and 3, 2 only, 2 and 3. I mean, yeah, there's very little overlap. Oh, Daria Nicolaides. You were in Deep Red, I think. Anyways. I went to get into Daria... Oh, yeah, I saw Jaws last night in an absolute packed theater. It holds 223 people, and I can guarantee there's at least 310 people there. Sick. Any good conspiracy movie recommendations? Like, what do you mean by conspiracy movies? Like movies where there's like a protagonist and there's a conspiracy that they're trying to like unravel, kind of like X-Files style, Fox Mulder against the system, that kind of thing, or like documentaries that are trying to expose conspiracies that are perhaps problematic. I'm doing Barbie first because of the intensity of Oppenheimer needs to finish the night. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Anyways, good conspiracy movie recs. Try The Parallax View with Warren Beatty. Also try the De Palma film with John Travolta. Is it Blow Up or Blowout? I can never keep them straight. Brian De Palma. Blowout. Yeah. I think that's the one I'm thinking of, right? Nancy Allen, John Lithgow, I think. Hold on. What is the... A movie sound effects technician intentionally captures audio evidence. Yeah, Blowout and The Parallax View. Those should be good ones. And I think probably also the original Manchurian Candidate would be a good one. You could watch the new version of it, which stars Denzel Washington, but the original is the original, and you should watch the original. I've never seen it, but I know just based on the story of the remake of Manchurian Candidate that is pretty interesting. So yeah, there's 3 for you, just right off the top of my head. I'm just sharing, but when I was watching Barbie the other day and the girls behind me were pissed, I was in the front row and constantly kicked my seat throughout the film. Dude, turn around and tell them to stop, or like go get a member of the staff and have those people removed. Like, you paid for that seat, you shouldn't have to put up with that shit. Not sure if you missed it, but I gave Jesus Camp a 3.5. Pretty good documentary, and it's legit terrifying. Legacy of Satan is bad, but I liked it. Nice. But when I watched Oppenheimer, the guy behind me tried to keep his sniffling quiet because he was crying, and I was thankful. Yeah, those people are great. Can't wait to get the AMC Barbie movie popcorn bucket this weekend. If they still have them. Maybe they're sold out. It's a popular movie, everyone. If somebody paid you $10K, would you ever sit and watch the 20 most disturbing films ever? Look, $10,000 is not an insignificant amount of money. The 20 most disturbing films ever, that's going to take, what, 40 hours of my life? That's 2 days. I would love, wait, no, 40 hours. That's like 4 days of watching movies? Yeah, 4 days of watching movies. If I could get paid $10,000 for 4 days work for anything, I'm probably going to do it. Obviously, there are some caveats there. I'm not going to murder anybody. Other things that I also won't do. But, yeah, like, I would definitely watch the 20 most disturbing films ever if someone gave me $10,000. I would probably try to negotiate up to like 25,000 or something, or maybe 20,000, like 1,000 for every bad movie. But yeah, I'd do that. For 10K, I can pay the therapy to delete the memory. But then at that point, you might as well just not watch the movie. I bet you've already watched half of them anyways. I guess it depends. Like, is there a definitive list as to what the most disturbing films of all time are? Because, like, as that person who we just saw sort of pointed out, there's, like, just a bunch of, like, snuff films that, like, only 500 people have seen that I know nothing about, right? So I don't know if that's true. Like, if we're going to go for the more, like, mainstream movies that are super bad or just considered to be like the worst and most disturbing, then yeah, I've seen Cannibal Holocaust, I've seen Angst. I haven't seen Cannibal Ferox, which I think is also kind of in that list. I haven't seen Salo, and I haven't seen Serbian Film. Oh god, there's probably more, but I feel like those are like the kind of like the main most disturbing films ever. So I've seen a couple, but not all. It's got to be like Gumo or Salo. I don't think I've seen Gumo. I've seen Kids. But yeah, definitely not Gumo. Is Two Girls, One Cup on that list? Blast from the Past, man. I mean, it's not a movie for one thing. It's just an old YouTube meme. And you know what? If you guys are probably not for the right age for this, but I do remember back in the day when we would try to set people's like homepage on Internet Explorer to Two Girls, One Cup. That was fun. That was a fun time to be alive. Have I seen Maniac? I've seen the Elijah Wood remake. I don't think I've seen the original Maniac, though. Serbian Film is something I wish I could unwatch. Yeah, I don't really want to watch it, you know? I for some of these like really disturbing movies, I really need them to have some kind of thing other than them just being really disturbing to get me to go and watch them, to go out of my way to go see them. Because there's so many other movies that I would much rather be watching than like Serbian Film, right? Salo, as I said, I will probably end up getting to eventually, because that's a film that is, you know, it's in the Criterion Collection. It's considered one of the best films of all time. I think The Night Porter is probably another one that I think most people would consider disturbing that I haven't seen yet, but it's in the Criterion Collection, so I probably will end up seeing it eventually. So, yeah. Have I seen The Last House on the Left? I've seen neither the original nor the remake, unfortunately. What about 10K for you to watch La La Land on repeat for 72 hours and with your eyes held open like the guy from Clockwork Orange? So that actually sounds like it would be psychologically damaging. And I'm being serious when I say that. Not having any sleep and not being able to blink for 72 hours in a row, that sounds bad. I don't want to do that. There's a remake of Last House on the Left? Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty sure there is. It was at that time when there was a lot of remakes of, like, you know, classic films going on. It might be called something a little bit differently. No, yeah. Last House on the Left. There's one from 1972 and 2009. Who was in it? Who was in... Sarah Paxton was the star. Tony Goldwyn is in it. He's good. Aaron Paul was in it from Breaking Bad. There you go. Two Girls, One Cup was my canon event. Oh, gross. I've read the entire plot summary of Serbian Film one time, and yeah, I'm all set. Cool. Yeah, I definitely don't want to watch it. Yeah, I went through an edgelord phase and watched a bunch of messed up things. I grew up and can't imagine watching things like that anymore. Yeah, I think this also is kind of like an age thing as well, where I was getting onto the internet like back in 1996, 1997, when the internet was way more wide open and it was like pretty easy to find really fucked up shit. Rotten.com comes to mind, where you can see photographs of people who, for example, got hit in the head by a helicopter propeller. That's an image that I'm never going to forget. I'm actually thinking about it right now, and it's pretty fucked. So yeah, I wouldn't even say that I had an edgelord phase back then, but just because of the way the internet was set up and how it was way more decentralized, and it wasn't so much just like, you know, everyone finding mostly all of the content on a couple of social media platforms. Word of mouth would quickly spread about different websites that you can go to see fucked up shit. Rotten.com, as I mentioned, being, I think, probably the main one. And yeah, I saw some bad shit. I saw some bad things. A lot of pornography too. Oh yeah, lots of great pornography. Never gave my parents' credit card out though. I was too smart. I wonder how many viruses actually we got because of that back in the day. But yeah, just when you're on the internet in a different era, things were just way more wide open in a way that I don't think a lot of people kind of understand. Your empathy levels went up. Oh, that's a good way of thinking about it. You should put who you roasted in the descriptions of these streams so we know if you got to us or not. I do. It just sometimes takes me a couple of days to get back to doing them. Like I haven't done that for the Tuesday live stream yet because I've been kind of working on the Christopher Nolan ranked thing and doing other stuff. So yeah, I do eventually get around to it. Or rather, my empathy levels went up. Yeah. Best Gore was surprisingly still active until a few years ago. Is that a website, Best Gore? Oh. Being a teen in the internet in the 2090s was wild. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it was still like better, you know? Like if we could just get rid of social media altogether and have a version of the internet from the 1990s that includes like Wikipedia still, because Wikipedia is very important. If we could just have that, but have everything like load faster and the graphics be better, that would be so much better than the internet we have today. You guys don't know what we lost with the consolidation of the internet moving towards social media. If you don't remember the internet back in the late 90s, you just don't know what we lost. It was wild. It was wild, and I kind of miss it a lot. I grew up in a time when the internet was mainstream, but not mainstream enough to where parents knew how bad it could be. I mean, yeah. See, when I was growing up, they were still doing like news reports on the internet, being like, "Do you know where your children are going on the internet?" You know, that kind of same like, "It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?" Like that same kind of mentality was still pretty strong. And yet, still, my parents didn't know what I was doing on the internet. And we didn't even have incognito mode back then. We didn't even have Chrome back then. The most disturbing film I've seen is probably the Filipino film Oro Plata Mata. There's probably films more disturbing than that, but it really disturbed me long after I saw it. I'm not familiar with that film. Let's go look it up. Gold, Silver, Death is the translation. It's just, look at that. Just people dancing, having a good time. No problems, no problems. The film follows two aristocratic families in... Is that the name of a country? I know that... What? I know that in, like, Spanish you would pronounce that in a way that's not terribly bad, but, like... What the fuck is this? Anyways, during World War II, it is structured in 3 parts. Oro, a life of luxury and comfort in the city. Plata, a still luxurious time of refuge in a provincial hacienda. And finally, Mata, a toilsome retreat deeper into the mountains. It's not a real country. Okay. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. If I was speaking Spanish or something, then I would have no problem, but reading that out loud, no. Just not doing it. Just not doing it. So yeah, this seems like it might be like a low key. It's a region in the Philippines. Oh, okay. What? I really feel like an idiot for asking this, but like, why is that region of the Philippines called that? Salo isn't disturbing to me, but I also believe that it shouldn't exist because it's child. Oh, right. Right. I forget that about Salo. I always think that it's like torture. Right. I do often forget that about Salo. I remembered how messed up the internet was, and the fact that people think it's bad to be more considerate of other people's pain and trauma is a bad thing. Yeah, people are fucked. I miss when the internet was just a bunch of forums. That was our social media. Yeah, but now that's just like, now that's just Reddit. I miss some things about the internet, but all the bigotry stuff, I don't miss it. Oh, that's true. The fact that it's more moderated. Although now, with Twitter the way it is, it's not exactly that moderated, is it? But Tagalog Filipino is influenced by Spanish. There's black natives from that region, and the Spanish called it that when they first came to colonize. I had a feeling it had something to do with colonialism. Just something inside of me was like, hey, that's the Spanish word for black. Why do I have a feeling that this has something to do with colonialism? Calling an entire region of a country black. Why would that happen? Of course it's colonialism. How could it be anything other than colonialism? All right, that was a good break. That was a good chill moment. I needed to reset a little bit, because now we got to roast Boden. We got to roast Boden so hard. And I think we've roasted Boden before, so I'm going to do a bit of a quick one. I'm going to do a speed run. I'm going to excruciatingly destroy this person, but quickly. So first of all, Boden is still from Texas, which sucks because Texas is a terrible place. I bet if people went to colonize the Philippines, they would somehow end up on the exact same name for that region of the Philippines. And Boden, as we see here, is currently exploring the Taiwanese New Wave, among other things, and yet somehow has managed to completely miss including any film from the Taiwanese New Wave in their favorite films. Congratulations, I guess your explorations have not yielded anything of note. And I guess in their profile picture, we can just see, I don't know, a really dirty lake? I don't want to swim there. What is that white stuff in the lake? Uh-oh, let's leave. So, recent activity. Looks like you've watched Princess Mononoke and gave it a 4-star. Ooh, you watched Barbie and gave it a 3.5. What could you possibly say about that? Needed more Michael Cera. As a Canadian, I can only agree with that sentiment, even though I've never seen the film. And then we have 1 star for Funeral Parade of Roses. I have a feeling that people in the chat are about to go a little bit crazy over this one. I believe it is essential to refrain from automatically labeling films as masterpieces solely based on their experimental nature or historical significance, as this is a fucking mess. And I know what I would do in this situation personally. I would go and read a little bit more about the film, because it would be just so strange if a bunch of people who knew exactly what they were talking about called this film really good and were wrong about it. You know, sometimes appealing to experts is not the worst thing that you could possibly do. Oh, look, this person's got a popular review for Breathless. Definitely very influential, but for me, this was really more of a vibe than something of substance. Interesting how they had kind of the same criticism of Funeral Parade of Roses and Breathless, and yet Breathless got a 3 stars and Funeral Parade of Roses got a 1 star. Whoopsies, although honestly, it wasn't the exact same criticism. That was just me saying a stupid roast thing. The Horror of Consequences. Kawadin. 5 stars, 13 likes. Oh my god, this is the most liked review of the live stream so far. We found another one. But we're speedrunning. We're speedrunning the roast. Lists. I don't care about your physical media. What you spend your money on is your own business. The films of Hayao Miyazaki ranked. You put Kiki's Delivery Service number 1, you are correct. Middle Earth ranked. Is Two Towers number 1? It usually isn't. Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King? But you only gave it a 3 stars. Why are you ranking all of these movies if you think so poorly of them? Wait, what did you give Desolation of Smog? 1 star. Wow. And also only giving Two Towers a 2 star? Like, I understand what you're doing there with the numbers, but at the same time, no. Absolutely not. 7 days of movie. Using my 7-day free trial of movie on Prime Video, I plan to watch these movies. 17 movies? Whoa. That's a lot. And Damnation is not a short film. Oh, wait, no, that is a short film. It's only 2 hours. I was thinking of Satan Tango. Wait, is Satan Tango here? Am I saying Satan Tango wrong? Should I be calling it something else? Wait, the Turin Horse is long, though. It's 2.5 hours. There's got to be a long movie here. That one's over 2 hours. White Ribbon. Oh, yeah, it's a Michael Haneke film. Terrorizers. That's not a long one either. That's a great movie, though. Edward Yang. Super cool. The films of Akira Kurosawa ranked high and low. That's really high. Uh-oh. Good old My browser has frozen again. Why does this happen? Why does this happen to me specifically? No one's ever been able to explain why this happens or how it happens. Oh, we got it back. We got it back. We're here. We're live, everyone. Hello. Oh, look, it's Quentin Tarantino ranked. Pulp Fiction first. Super fucking basic. The films with Damien Chazelle ranked. Whiplash, number 1. Well, at least it wasn't La La Land, and you have Babylon over La La Land. Congratulations. You're cool. What do we got here at the lowest part, though? What is the lowest ranked for Boden? It is Red Notice, a film that I actually kind of liked because it's a movie where people find things and those things take them to other places in the world. I think that's fun. But wait, we have a lot of it. Oh, wow, we have a lot of half-star films. Oh my God. Black Panther, Deadpool, Avengers Endgame. Like, I'm not the biggest Marvel stan, but even I can recognize those are not half-star films. Maybe you're just a hater of fun. I think that's probably what's going on here. Also, just to put Boss Baby 2, the sequel to the Boss Baby, on the same level as like Avengers Endgame, that's ridiculous. Also, I saw that you had Midsummer here at a half star. Don't think that changing the poster to the Japanese version was going to prevent me from recognizing Miss Florence Pugh right there in front of me. This is ridiculous. This is awful. I think you should stop reviewing movies entirely, and movies as well. Movies and movies are off limits to you. And of course, when we flip it around and go to the 5-star, oh my bejeebus, it's a basic Criterion bitch, wouldn't you know? Oh, how surprising. The Young Girls of Rashford, Aguirre, Wrath of God, A Hard Day's Night, Yojimbo, Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring. Among others, Redbeard, Path of Glory, The Bad Sleep Well, House. Tetsuya the Iron Man. Just kidding. That's not in. That's not in the Criterion Collection. But also, Chungking Express, High and Low, Touch of Zen, Color of Pomegranates. Come on now. Crash. Cronenberg's Crash. Basic Criterion bitch. Number two. On the day. So, there you go, Boden. I've roasted you before. You've been roasted again. Congratulations. That's a quickie. That's a quick one. Quick one while the eternal worm is away. That's not the name of the song. I don't know if I should... Wait, what? Vibe. Yeah, people who say vibe, even though I'm a person who says vibe sometimes, they're cringe. Tetsuya is sick. The soundtrack is next level. Nice. Dang, I don't give movie half stars unless I think they are abomination against humanity. Not a Marvel fan, but they are like 2 stars. Yeah, I generally agree with that. Advertising for new game to play it. What? Hateful Eight is in his top 3 QT. That's interesting. Interestingly incorrect. Wrong. It's just wrong. Super, super wrong. Just like Arthur88 is wrong. And I can only assume that Arthur here was born in 1988 and their profile picture is of their child. Because if I take 88 in the other way, which would mean that they are a white supremacist, because don't forget, 88 means HH, which means Hail Hitler. So look out for that when you are on the internet or looking at people in real life and they have a tattoo of 88. 1488 is also a film that, or is also a number that you should be looking out for. But anyways, I hope that this person was born in 1988 and this person in their profile picture is actually their child. Although, interestingly, since we're talking about 88 meaning Heil Hitler in terms of what those numbers actually could represent, it's kind of funny that their child could easily have found their way into the Hitler Youth if they were born in the 1930s. So I guess we're going to roast Arthur88 now, and they are from Belgium, which would mean that they are the only person in Belgium that I've ever actually met and know about, and this is not a great way to start off my relationship with the country of Belgium, Arthur. You're kind of fucking with stuff. So, let's see what the bio reads. I just like movies, that's why I am active on Letterboxd and many more people. Makes sense, isn't it? And like, no, not really. And I'm not gonna go after the way that you've written this English language sentence because I know that you can probably also speak both French and Flemish, which means you've got like 2 languages up on my 1. So I'm not gonna be too critical on it. But no, it doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense why people are active on Letterboxd. Why would they be on Letterboxd if they like movies? We're here to make fun of people. That's the point. That's the point of what we're doing, and it's why you wanted to get roasted, so here we go. favorite films: Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Little Miss Sunshine, The Red Balloon, and It's Such a Beautiful Day. And of course, It's Such a Beautiful Day is just a little short, little animated film that's 62 minutes long. Wait, it's 62 minutes long? I didn't think it was 62 minutes long. Huh. Well, I guess it is a real movie, and the criticism that I was about to give of it is incorrect. So wait, what was his review? Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're going to talk about 10 movies that are secretly horror movies. Okay. Definitely needed to give props to a YouTube channel that has millions of subscribers. Certainly not channels that only have maybe a few thousand subscribers. Maybe exactly 3,301 subscribers. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Also, we've got The Red Balloon here, which makes me think that you're into really depressing things. Little Miss Sunshine, which makes me think you're into really depressing things. And Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which makes me think you're into really depressing things. And Witchcraft, which means you should probably be burned at the stake. Recent activity, Project X. Why are you watching a film for literal teenagers? Look at all these red cups around. I wonder how many of them have semen in them. Super bad, but bad. Yet you still gave it a 2.5 star. Way to rank a movie that is bad as an average movie. You are in fact incorrect. Insidious, 3 stars. I'm gonna tiptoe this movie out the window. Man, wait until you watch Insidious 2. It's much better. And then we have Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers getting a 5 star. Where are the two towers? And if you'll look closely, Arthur, there's one. And then there's some people faces. Look out for the people faces. Avoid the people faces. There's the other. 2 towers. Right there in the poster. Congratulations. We did it. We did it together, Arthur. You should have been able to do that on your own, though. You really should have been. So let's look at these popular reviews, Arthur. Knives Out, just a classic family discussion. I don't know about you, but that looks nothing like the way that my family hangs out. For one thing, we're not all super rich. For another, we don't murder people. I don't think, anyways. We haven't seen one of the members of my family in a while, though. Huh. Also, you gave 1 star to Persona. What the fuck are you doing? I often, on these live streams, will talk about Ingmar Bergman and how I think Persona and The Seventh Seal are maybe a little bit too overrated for Bergman, and that he's got some better works in there in his filmography that people kind of ignore in favor of Persona and Seventh Seal. But I would never say that Persona is a 1 star, especially with a review like this. They are all possessed by demons. As someone who is currently possessed by a demon, how dare you put that onto the women in Persona? How dare you? Demons are not that plentiful, and you shouldn't just assume that someone is possessed by a demon because they are acting in a way that you think is counter to the way that people should act in society. And that's my demon talking. He's very upset with you, and maybe, just maybe, gonna come find you a little bit later. Is their name Pazuzu? No, that would be stupid. It's a different demon, a better demon. So, lists. You have 12. I wonder how many of these are going to be Quentin Tarantino lists. Wait a minute. Mom's top 4, dad's top 4, and sister's top 4. We get to roast the whole family. Oh my God, this is great. All right. Mom's top 4. The Green Mile, Message in a Bottle, Jurassic Park, and E.T. Looks like your mom's got a little bit of a thing for Steven Spielberg, or just Steven Spielberg. So I guess your mom wants to have sex with Steven Spielberg. Bam! Got him. What about your dad's top 4? Saw, Return of the King, The Green Mile, and Forrest Gump. Well, I guess it's a good thing that your dad and your mom agree on Green Mile. It'll help keep their relationship together when your mom eventually runs away with Steven Spielberg. Also, the fact that your dad's favorite film is Saw is concerning, and I think maybe you should try to move out of the house. And your sister's top 4, which is really just a top 2, and she has Avatar and The Green Mile. Why does your family like The Green Mile so much? I'm not sure what's going on here. Also, Avatar is fine. It's fine. Your sister should probably watch more movies. Horror films ranked. Well, probably not going to look at that because you've got Creep 2 and Creep right at the top. I guess actually we need to do that because you said no explanation needed. And actually, yeah, I am going to need some explanation as to why Creep 2 and Creep are higher than Halloween, The Thing, Scream, Halloween 2, Jaws, The Shining, The Blair Witch Project. Actually, why are any of these films ahead of The Shining? I don't mean to sound like a film bro right now, but why the fuck Is Halloween 2 ahead of The Shining? Why is Insidious ahead of The Shining? Why is Scream 6 ahead of The Shining? What are you doing? What are you talking about? We also have Wes Anderson ranked, which I don't care about. Also, the goddamn Chrome has frozen again. Why is this happening to me? And does I doing stuff change it? Ooh, it did actually. We got it back. Couples ranked based on how much I love these couples only romance movies. I guess we're not looking. I saw that La Jetée was in here. Maybe I should turn off the hide short films filter. Show short films. No. Show. God damn it. La La Land. Why? I mean, it's good. Why is it here? I guess is what I wanted to say. Put it in last. It is in last. Good. But Portrait of a Lady on Fire and La Jetée in this list is based. Good for you. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The fuck, dude? It's 2 films. Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie's ranked? Jesus. We didn't need to know this. What, you think the sequel to Diary of a Wimpy Kid is better than the original? Ooh. Oh my god. So why don't we move on to the films, Arthur? What is the half stars? The funniest thing usually is what people rank things half stars. You put a George Méliès film down at half star, one of the films from 1901. Are you kidding me? Why would you do this? Why would you go out of the way to rank a 3-minute George Méliès film, one of the godfathers, one of the fathers, just one of the, I don't know, most important filmmakers ever? Why would you just go find a 3-minute film that they made and give it a half star? Why would you do that to yourself? Looks like you also did it with The Infernal Cauldron, The Black Imp. Any other silent films you want to include here? Okay, hold on a goddamn minute. History of the Entire World, I guess, the 19-minute YouTube video. I object to this film being on Letterboxd in the first place, but what I also object to, I figured out my words there right at the end, is giving this a half star. This is one of the best YouTube videos that has ever existed. Jesus Christ. Loves that movie. Also, what is this? Why does this look like... Oh, Mothlight. You got Mothlight in here? You put a Brackage film in this? I almost didn't click on this because, honestly, this kind of looks like a dick. Right? This kind of looks like a dick. And I was afraid that it was a dick. But now I know it's Mothwings. It's fine. It's no longer a dick. Thunder. The sun is a deadly laser. It's true. It's true. As a ginger, I can confirm the sun is a deadly laser. Takeshi Ito. A woman's face disappearing behind and emerging from a pair of hands. Flashing lights. An empty building full of dark hallways. Designs drawn in the air with light and long exposure cinematography. Oh, so you just don't like experimental films? Is that what we're going with here? Because it seems like you're just giving out half stars to experimental films. Jesus. Also, I just see more of this stuff here. I think Thinking Kills, Obsession Kills, those are shorts, right? Yep. Don't know why that's happening. Don't know what's going on, but you get up to the 2 stars real quick. You get up to the 4 stars real quick. I guess that's not too hard when you're only dealing with 3 pages of films here. So I guess maybe you're just dumb and you haven't seen a lot of movies yet. But what you have given a 5-star to are such films that you didn't have in your top 4 as Parasite and Creep 2, films that are often spoken of in the same sentence. Literally the same breath, almost all the time. Parasite, Creep 2, best movies ever, for sure. Absolutely. Are they both from around the same time? Yep. Late 2010s, people are always talking about Parasite and Creep 2 just being so good, just being the best, being the absolute peak of cinema. Number 1, always, Creep 2. So much better than Creep. We all say that. Everyone says that all the time. And I guess most of these other 5 stars we've already checked, although wouldn't you believe it, Shawshank Redemption and 7 just right there. Just right there for the basic American, hello, I watch AMC occasionally. That's pretty much what this all is. And I guess they also go check out some short films on YouTube occasionally. Jeez. What does Mark Duplass have to do with this? And where is The Shining? It's way down. We're going down in an earlier round because there's The Shining. Sugar, we're going down swinging. Shit, I should have said Jack, we're going down swinging. That would have been dope. That would have been a great thing to say. God damn, I should be better at my job. So yeah, there you go. Shining, 3 stars. Obviously a film that is worse than The Whale, for one. The Shining is definitely worse than The Whale. But also The Shining is worse than Scream 4, the Halloween remake, the It remake, Shrek 2, Halloween 2, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, El Camino, the movie based on the TV show Breaking Bad. Don't Look Up, definitely better than The Shining. Bullet Train, for sure, definitely better than The Shining. Scary Movie, once again, everyone always talks about how Scary Movie is better than The Shining. 3.5 star Jaws is a historical crime. I mean, there's lots of historical crimes going on here. Also a lot of hate crimes going on here. Cinephile hate crimes specifically. And that's all that I'm going to do with Arthur88. That's all Arthur gets. I'm done with Arthur. Arthur sucks. Super Bros movie is on par with The Shining, apparently. Yeah. Once again, a thing that we all commonly say every day in our normal lives. I can't even tell you how many times I was walking down the street and I just hear people say things to their friends, like The Shining and Super Mario Bros. Movie. Whether it be the first Mario Brothers movie or the new animated one, they're just both the exact same as The Shining. They are the exact same amount of goodness. No doubt. No absolute doubt in anyone's mind. Everyone says it. I hear these things commonly. I actually went to a Blue Jays game recently, and surprisingly, the thing that I heard the most were people comparing The Shining directly to the Super Mario Brothers movie. It was like every time I turned around, every time I went to a concession, every time I got a beer, every time I went to the bathroom, I was just surrounded by the chipper chit-chatting of Blue Jays fans talking about how The Shining and the Super Mario Brothers movie is just so good and like are the exact same. It's weird. It's me, Johnny. Has anyone ever done a remix of The Shining but did it with like Super Mario, like animated it? Because obviously Mario like going after Peach, and then after he gets into the bathroom, that's when you get hit with like, I'm sorry, but Peach is in another bathroom. I feel like there's a good joke there, right? And like Toad is the son who says red rum all the time. That's got to be a thing that exists. And if not, the fact that I've just said it out loud on the internet, it will be something that does exist. I do like the idea of Toad being like red rum. Oh God. There's no God here, only cinephiles. You ever seen The Chickening? Is that like what, a chicken version of The Shining? Everyone goes, Booker, it's me, Johnny. Booker, it's Johnny. Booker. That's how chickens sound, by the way. I really do want to watch The History of the World now that Brent has gotten in the chat and said the sun is a deadly laser. Kind of, it's worse than that. Oh, it's worse than me going, Booker, it's Johnny, Booker. That must be really bad. That must be bad. By the way, I always talk about how I will definitely go on or like be in people's films. If you ever make your own film, I'll just do it. I'll just show up. Don't even worry about it. But like, I'll also voice act for stuff. For sure. I'll voice act for things. Anytime you need a narrator in a documentary you're making, let me know. I'll be like, hello. It is now time to talk about the very serious subject of horse tranquilizers and why when you use them on not horses, that is a bad thing. See? I'm great at documentaries. I can make a religion out of this. I should make a religion out of this. I already call myself the Cinephile Supreme. So maybe I should just turn this into a proper cult. I know you guys have said that I'm a cult leader in the past, and I've kind of been like, oh, whatever, it's not actually a cult. But like, why not? Why not just go full-on cult with it, right? I'm sure that it would become more popular then, because everyone loves cults. I could probably do a collab with Jared Leto. His cult and my cult could all hang out. And then my cult could beat the shit out of his cult because maybe people are being sexually abused in his cult. I don't know for sure, though. Don't sue me, Jared Leto. TJ, the cinephile Charles Manson. I mean, if I don't do the killing, how can I be arrested? Charles Manson found the ultimate legal loophole and yet still ended up in jail. That'll teach you to carve a swastika into your forehead. This person said Diary of a Wimpy Kid is better than Spirited Away. Oh yeah, I guess I did say that. Yeah, people are dumb. People are really dumb. People are exceptionally stupid. Yeah. The more time you spend on the internet, the more that just ends up being true. That people are so very dumb. The absolute worst even. Just tremendously stupid. So you know what? I'm not gonna take a break. But we're not gonna roast for a minute. I'm kind of interested in seeing what's going on in film news right now. I want to see what is going on, what the big stories are. Interesting. So you guys may have heard about this. There was a report that went around yesterday. I think Variety put it out, saying that a number of Warner Brothers films are considering pushing their release date because they're worried that they won't be able to have the stars of those films promote the movie because of the current actors strike. So those movies include The Color Purple, that new musical that's coming out, Dune Part 2, and the new Aquaman film. Yes, Aquaman might get pushed again. Hilarious. And so I think we're going to start seeing maybe a bit of a knock-on effect here when it also comes to film festivals. And I'm just seeing a headline here for the fact that Luca Guadagnino's new film, Challengers, has exited Venice. Festival opened with a film called Comandante instead. Let's see what's going on. The challenge of promoting Challengers during the SAG-AFTRA strike has upended its planned fall rollout. Guadagnino's Challengers will no longer be making its world premiere for the opening night of 2023 Venice Film Festival. The film, which stars Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, and Mike Fast, was previously announced to be screening out of competition August 30th to kick off the 80th annual festival. Instead, the festival will open with Comandante. And so, yeah, I think this is something that we're going to start seeing, and actually raises a very interesting question for the Toronto International Film Festival, which I know a lot of people here will not be able to attend, but here's just some fun information about it. So, oops. So at TIFF, typically for a film to be considered a gala presentation, which is like the highest tier, basically the most expensive ticket for any of the film is a gala presentation film, the filmmakers need to be able to guarantee that I think the producer, the director, and the main cast will all be able to attend, right? So that's a big thing. With the SAG strike now, they can't do that. No one can guarantee that the cast will be there unless the cast is from a country where SAG is not the representative union, right? And even then, if they're part of a union, they still might not want to show up because they don't want to cross a picket line. And of course, going to your film's premiere and promoting it would be crossing a picket line because it is struck work. But I guess it also depends on if the struck work, the film itself, has is a studio film or if it's a more independent film. So that could be part of this as well. But I'm actually curious, and I wish we could know more about it. If there was more of stories being printed about this, but I would love to know the films that were supposed to be at TIFF, even though they've only announced 3 films so far. They do eventually end up announcing 200 films, 200 plus films, maybe even more than that. I would love to know which films are not going to TIFF for this very reason. The fact that they are not going to have their cast on hand, and producers are deciding as part of that to just not release the film because they need the stars there to help promote it. So I think we are going to be hearing more stories like this coming up. And I guess TIFF is probably in a very good position because, like I said, they've only announced 3 films out of hundreds of films so far. So they are able to pivot in a more discreet manner, whereas Venice, which I guess has already made some more major announcements, is not able to do that. Let's see. What else is big? I guess people are already starting to say that Ryan Gosling should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I don't know about that. Although I would be stunned if Robert Downey Jr. didn't get nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer. Not to say that it's an incredible performance, but it's the exact kind of performance that gets nominated for that category. Barbie. Whoa, y'all. That's a big number. Barbie makes $22.3 million in previews. That means that Barbie made that amount of money on Thursday when they weren't even doing full slates, full theater runs yet. Oh, wow. Like, to think about it another way, it's not really open wide on Thursday, and it made $22 million. To me, that says this thing is tracking for well over $100 million. I know that the floor that was kind of set out by people who watch this kind of stuff has been like, oh yeah, Barbie projected to make 100 million. That says to me that it's going to get well over 100. Well over 100. Because I can imagine if that's their preview number for Thursday, then Friday and Saturday is probably going to be close to what, $35 million each? So there's 70 plus the 20. So we're already at like 92, and we're not counting Sunday yet, which will also have a pretty good day, probably 20 million. So we're probably talking more like 110 to 120 million for Barbie. That's massive. That's a massive fucking number. And just think how good it's going to be to look every single person in the eye who says that like women don't show up to movies and be like, oh yeah? Women can't direct blockbusters. Oh yeah? Boom. Love it. Love that. Love that a lot. What's up? Just came back from the Barbie movie. Joshua Lee. How did you enjoy it? No spoilers, though. Can studios use cardboard cutouts of the actors for promos while they're on strike like they did in baseball? I think they could probably get sued, honestly, because I don't know if the likeness rights would be included in the contract that they are currently doing. I should also say thank you to Jop. Thank you to Jop for coming in with the donation. Do this person, I don't know who this is. Is this like a YouTuber of sorts for a roast? I don't know shit. I don't know anything about people who do YouTube outside of like Karsten. Who is this? Or is this you? This is probably you, right? I'm guessing this is you. Also, you're saying my GGG. Does that mean I'm your triple G? TJ, did you see Oppenheimer in IMAX? I saw it in IMAX digital, which is not the highest, best way of seeing it. I am intending on seeing Oppenheimer in at least one more way, which is the 70mm IMAX presentation, which is happening at the Vaughn Cineplex, which I'm going to have to cart my ass all the way to Vaughn to go see. And then I may also go see the 70mm print of it at Varsity in Cineplex. And that's more just to see if they always overexpose their 70mm prints. But I likely will not go to see it at the Scotiabank IMAX, which will just be which will just be IMAX with laser, which is a pretty good way to see it. But I do want to see the film on film because it is one of those films where like every step of the post-production process was on film. You know, the editing was done digitally, like after you scan the film, but all of like the negative cutting and interpositive shit and all that, like all of that's still in there. When in Vaughn, I've been keen on seeing it, and I've heard it must be seen in IMAX. Yeah, I'd see it in IMAX. It's not as, in my mind, it's not. And like once again, I saw it in digital IMAX, so I wasn't even seeing like the full frame, proper like IMAX images. But I think that there have been other Nolan films that where it's more necessary to see it in IMAX. I think films like Dunkirk and Interstellar like should be seen in IMAX. Like should full stop be seen in IMAX. But with this film, with Oppenheimer, and maybe I just have like a bias because I didn't see it in true IMAX. I haven't seen it in true IMAX yet. But I feel like it doesn't need to be seen in IMAX, but it's like you probably should. I think it's more important to see the film on film than it is to see it on IMAX, honestly. So in the case of when I'm going to go see it in Vaughn, it has to be within the next 2 weeks because as I understand it, I read an article about this today. Apparently Cineplex flew in a projectionist from Los Angeles to run the 70 millimeter IMAX print on that screen for 2 weeks, for only 2 weeks. So I assume that we're gonna get this weekend, next weekend, and maybe the following weekend, and then the film is gone. So actually, it might be this weekend and next weekend, and then going to Thursday of the following week, and then it's gone. So it's going to have to be within the next 2 weeks, and I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to try to figure it out. Directors can remote films, and normies can actually know who makes the movies. The media treat like the actors the only thing to care about of the film. Well, I mean, that's kind of the reason, is because this is what people mostly gravitate towards, right? You put up like 2 articles, one about a director and one about an actor. People are probably going to be more interested in the thing about the actor because that's who you actually see on screen. They are more of a celebrity, so it all makes sense. RDJ was in deep makeup like his last 2 noms, Chaplin and Tropic Thunder. Oh, true. Can studio... Oh, no, I already answered that. They had early screenings of Barbie on Wednesday. Oh, so it's... Oh, okay. So it's preview screenings from Wednesday and Thursday then. Still, that 22 million is a very good number. I'm just... Please rose my letterbox. Oh, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So Sjoppa is a famous Dutch photographer. Oh, cool. Yeah. No, I'm going to be... Yeah, I'll let you know, Brent. I'll let you know. And I think Nick is going to be going for that as well. We're going to try to organize it. So everyone wants to see it in IMAX 3D. The problem, though... And don't worry, Jop. I will roast you. I just want to finish this thought. The problem here, and I didn't realize that because never in my life have I thought it would be a good idea to go to Vaughn for anything. But the problem is that, and I'll just try to illustrate this. Where are you, Vaughn? Where are you, Vaughn, you piece of shit? There we go. So the problem here, and I'll just switch over, is that the special 70mm presentation of the film... I guess they're only doing 2 screenings of it a day as well. That's not good. But yeah, like, it looks like it's a smaller overall theater compared to the IMAX with laser screening at... the IMAX with laser at Scotiabank. So, yeah. Actually, I can see pretty far into the future with this, right? July. How about next Friday? Do they have those tickets available yet? No, they don't. Oh my God, the first Slam Dunk movie's coming out. I don't know what that is. I'm just wondering how busy this presentation is so far, and if they're going to be doing that consistently. Oh, Oppenheimer, okay, so they're doing, what, next Thursday they're doing, what? Why would they do 4 screen? Oh, because these screenings have already happened. Okay, cool. But even that, like 10 a.m. on next Thursday, all the good seats are gone. Like, I think people are making the pilgrimage, so... This might already be very difficult to do. But I can keep an eye on tickets that are coming out for the next weekend and maybe try to grab those the Saturday maybe. It's gonna be an interesting though. It's gonna be tough. Okay. We've talked about Oppenheimer enough, but I still gotta do the intro. I still gotta do the proper intro for it. Do you think the R rating and the mandatory amount of IMAX theaters will hurt Oppenheimer's box office performance? Honestly, I don't think it will because I didn't even know it was an R-rated film until someone said fuck a second time in the film. I had no idea. It was nowhere in the press. I never heard anyone say anything about it being an R-rated film, and I guarantee you that no one is going to be checking like people's age to go see Oppenheimer. It's not that kind of R-rated film. There's a bit of nudity in it. There's like a small amount of swearing, but it's like it's a historical biopic, right? It's not like they're going to see some ridiculously gory Evil Dead Rise type movie or something like that, you know? I think that the R rating hurts this film absolutely not at all. Because there's no way an usher is going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't go see like the World War II film that doesn't even show war happening because, like, you know, someone says fuck a couple of times. And like, no one's going to say that to a 14-year-old. So I really don't think that the film is going to be hurt by the R rating. All right. Do you think the R... Oh, no, I already answered that. I want to see Oppenheimer in 3D 40X. Get the fuck out of here. You're canceled. You're done. You're out of the community. Just like Sjoppa's gonna be done, out of here, done with the community. And I feel like they already know that's gonna happen just based on the expression of this person's face in their profile picture. This looks like the exact kind of expression I would make if someone were to say to me that I've been kicked out of my own community. I'd be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I will kill you. So, Sjoppa, also, great name. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but I don't care. What can we say about you, this person who desperately wanted to get roasted? You called me a triple G as well. I don't even know what that means. I hope that doesn't mean that you are an Andrew Tate fan. Oh, did I just find a new way to roast you? Did I just pull that out of my ass and now I'm so happy with myself? Don't worry. Obviously, someone who is an Andrew Tate fan would not be watching a film like I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay. A film where I'm pretty sure a guy starts hooking up with a cyborg, because I guess that would make it very easy to exploit the women. And maybe this would be an imbalanced relationship that could potentially lead to trafficking. Oh, wait, never mind. This is Andrew Tate's favorite film. We found it. We found Andrew Tate's favorite film. It's I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay. Park Chan-wook coming in with the incredible Andrew Tate film, and also Sjoppa wanting the exact same thing. Another... They also got The Handmaiden here. Lahane, Fantastic Mr. Fox, leading me to believe that you are perhaps a 15-year-old person. This is just a guess, but anytime I see Lahane in someone's top 4, I'm assuming that they are a 15-year-old person. Yeah, absolutely, yes. And this is the problem here. This is the problem we're going to have, Sjoppa, with this. I desperately want to roast you, but you're not really giving me much, right? Like, look at this recent activity. You got a film called Wolf, which has people in it. I don't know. Are they werewolves? A promising kickboxer struggles to resist the temptations of a life of crime as a werewolf. There we go. Notice how it doesn't say of a werewolf. I was kidding. But if you name your film Wolf, it should probably have werewolves in it. Just a thought. Kind of like that film called Werewolf that has, you guessed it, werewolves in it. But they're not giving me anything here, Sjoppa. You're not giving me anything. Like, oh, what am I going to say about Mother and Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance getting 4.5 stars? There's no words here. You didn't give me anything for Northman. Not even a quippy little comment about Alexander Skarsgård's dick. These are things that I need to get a good roast going on. I don't need Alexander Skarsgård's dick. Other people need Alexander Skarsgård's dick. But I would at least like something to be able to roast. Wouldn't that just be fantastic? I would like that. There's not even any lists here. There's not even anything that you have watched recently. You watched 4 films in 2022. Wait, let's look at your diary. Was that the last time that you did something? My guy, you are not even active on this goddamn website. It's been a literal year since you've been here. And this is the name that you gave me, so I assume this is you. And like, what do you want me to do here? What am I gonna do? Roast the fact that you watched Split twice on the same day, along with like way too many other films where there was no way you could have watched all of them on one day? Like literally impossible to watch every single one of these films in one day. So what am I doing? What am I doing here? I don't even know. I guess we really just have the rankings to go off of. Let's have a fuck your rankings party. A Million Ways to Die in the West, half star? No, it's probably closer to a 2-star. Seth MacFarlane, he ain't all that bad. Just check my last added. I just did. There ain't nothing there, yo. Freak Show. What the hell is Freak Show at a half star? I haven't even heard of this. The story of teenager Billy Bloom who, despite attending an ultra-conservative high school, makes the decision to run for homecoming queen. Why is that a half star? That sounds kind of nice. Although it could be poorly directed. Who's the director? Someone who hasn't done much of anything. Well, that could be the problem right there. We also have The Fifth Wave, The Last Airbender, Gangster Squad, which never really got a proper release. That film has its own interesting history going along with it. 51st Dates, yeah, I've heard that film's problematic. I actually just found out recently, I've never seen this, but I found out recently that on one of the dates that they go on, they have sex, and then she gets pregnant, but she doesn't know she's pregnant because she keeps forgetting what she does or what happened in her previous day. And like, I really feel like we should be a bit more hard on this film for doing a really fucked up thing like that. You know, like that's a shitty thing. That's a shitty thing to do to someone. Real shitty. Someone who has like an impairment like that. Imagine you wake up 50 days in a row, and every day you wake up, it's like, oh, I don't know if I'm pregnant or not. I'm going to drink a lot of alcohol. Because they don't know, right? And it's just, I don't like it. I also don't like how you have films like Kimmy, the Soderbergh film, The King, starring Timothée Chalamet, which features the all-time best French accent ever done by anyone on screen, being done by Robert Pattinson. He plays, somehow, the best French person ever. And as someone whose dad is from Quebec, you know that I know exactly what a good French person should sound like. Incredible French accent. Try to find it on YouTube, actually. Nothing is better than that. It'll make you laugh because it's really, really stupid. So I think going through this even a bit more, you've got a lot of Adam Sandler films down here, and I think that maybe after watching 51st Dates and Click, you would think to yourself, oh, I probably shouldn't watch The Ridiculous Six. Why would you continue down this road of watching Pixels and other Adam Sandler trash that goes up on Netflix? Why does that appeal to you? Why do you keep wanting to watch bad movies? Gross. I don't like it. Kind of as gross as giving Fast and Furious 6 a 2-star and also giving Jaws a 2-star? What? How is Jaws and Click on the exact same level to one another? Also, Okja's here, a Bong Joon-ho film, and I happen to know that you really like Bong Joon-ho. So what was it about Okja that you weren't that into? Did it make you feel too sad because of all the animal death? Hey, guess what? The way that you eat probably contributes to that. Wow, what a wonderful lot of great things that we're learning today. So I think I'm just going to flip this around. I want to see what the 5 stars are. The White Diamond. I'm a Cyborg, but that's okay. I really need to see that movie. I haven't seen it yet. It's hard to find. We got, Nightcrawler, Mad Max Fury Road, Good Time, Handmaiden, Lahane Drive. Yep, definitely a 15-year-old dude. That's what we're dealing with right now. But hey, you had the good sense to give Y Tu Mamá Tambien 4.5 stars. Congratulations. What We Do in Shadows, Django, City of God, Prisoners. Yep. Very dutified. Oh, this is like, the 3rd time we've seen this movie pop up today? I know someone mentioned it in chat when we were looking at someone else's profile. What is this movie? I'm not aware of it. It's a Brazilian film from the 1980s. Watch list. Oh, it's on the Criterion Channel. Sick. Wait, is that a young... Who's this actor? It's not like a young, now famous actor, is it? Okay, it kind of looked like somebody. It almost looks like Diego Luna as a kid, right? Kind of looks like Diego Luna as a kid. Although I realize now that since this is a Brazilian film, it'd be in Portuguese and not Spanish. And I think Diego Luna is from Mexico. So I guess that doesn't make sense. But still, looks like a young Diego Luna. Also, you have My Octopus Teacher here at 4.5 stars, which, of course, means we must now talk about the Octussy. And I know that you probably don't know what that is. But you've seen this film. You've seen this film, and you know that guy definitely wants to have sex with that octopus. If you've seen this film, you know that for a fact. This guy wants to fuck the octopus. And I hate this film, not because of the sexual tension between this guy and the octopus, but because of this self-righteous rich-ass motherfucker who thinks that a good documentary is him talking about the relationship he builds with a fucking octopus. In a world where climate change is destroying everything, where the radical right is coming to take your children away so they can inspect their genitals in a world where Barbie and Oppenheimer get released on the same fucking day for some reason. This guy thinks that a worthy piece of conversation, a story that needs to be told, is how he wants to fuck an octopus, the octussie, as we occasionally call it. Fuck this movie. Fuck it left, right, and sideways. Bury it so goddamn deep that we never have to listen to it or hear about it ever again, except for the fact that it's on Netflix, which means we'll never get rid of it. And I just want to gag so hard. I'm going to throw up in my mouth. I'm going to throw up on this camera. I'm going to throw up on the cat. I'm going to throw up on 3 random strangers when I leave my apartment today. Fuck that movie. I think I hate that movie more than I hate La La Land. Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm going to go back and rate it. Where the fuck did it go? My octopus teacher? Half star, bitch. Fuck this piece of shit. All right. And there's your Friday Freakout. This week's Friday Freakout brought to you by anger management skills and not having them. I think that's about all I want to do with this, though. A lot of these are actually good movies. I'm not going to get too angry at them, except for that one. But, and I don't know if you actually have films in your watch list. Oh, thank God. So now, I'm gonna give you a couple of recommendations, because I feel like that wasn't a full roast, because you just haven't done a lot on the platform. So that was a good burp. I like that one. Lots of bass. So, I mean, there's a couple of easy ones here to recommend. What kind of bullshit were you watching again? What kind of bullshit have you been watching recently? So it's mostly like mainstream American stuff, right? Fairly. Yeah. Mainstream, some good stuff. Okay. So I want to stay away from mainstream and new. Recommend The Holy Mountain. I have actually seen The Holy Mountain, and I'm not going to recommend it. I don't recommend films that I haven't seen. So I'm looking for a weird good movie. Or not a weird good movie, but a not mainstream good movie. Perhaps directed by a woman? Just maybe. We'll just try it out and see what happens. Nobody Knows is here. That's a Koreeda film. I haven't seen it, though, so I can't recommend it. Satan Tango is here. That'd be interesting. Yo, don't watch The Crimson Rivers. Get this the hell out of here. This is stupid. This is a shitty French procedural detective film. Just don't watch it. Get it out of there. Get it gone. Get it out of there. Okay, so Primer. Low budget science fiction film. You should watch that one. That's a film that I would recommend that you watch. I think you should also watch... Have I seen Cure? Yeah, watch Cure. Watch this movie. It is a bit more mainstream, but it is a Japanese film. Kiyoshi Kurosawa. It's a police procedural, I think. And yeah, it is. And I think you would enjoy it. And then from the first page, let's go with The Tale of Two Sisters, which is a South Korean horror remake of the Spanish film Spirit of the Beehives. The original Spirit of the Beehives is not a horror film. Well, not really. And then they just kind of adapted it and turned it into a horror film with The Tale of Two Sisters. Really good, gorgeous movie. Go check that one out. And there you go, Sjoppa. Is that was the name? Sjoppa? Yeah, there you go. There's your roast. Thank you very much for your support of the channel. Appreciate that. Let's see. What was the chat saying? I'm a Cyborg is so cute. Yeah, I need to see it. People are rude when they shower. They can handle a lot of nudity. Oh, people are... I thought you said people are rude when they shower. And I was going to be like, how the hell do you know that? Also, the IMAX contract in releasing Tenet in theaters during COVID proves that Nolan isn't most business smart. I'm seeing Oppenheimer in IMAX, but I don't think normies will see a 3-hour drama in IMAX. Are you kidding? What? Are you off your rocker? You don't think people are going to see a 3-hour drama in IMAX? I can disprove this so fucking easily. Holy good gosh darn! I don't think I've seen a take that bad in a while. So where is it? Oppenheimer in IMAX. Yeah. So here's Oppenheimer in just IMAX laser. This is the Toronto IMAX theater. These films are not sold out yet. How full do you think they are? Oh wow. Look at all of these people. All of these 400 people who are not sitting in a film to see who are not sitting in IMAX to see a 3-hour drama. Hey, look at this 10 p.m. screening of a 3-hour drama that only 398 people are going to see. I wonder what would happen if we went to, I don't know, tomorrow, Saturday, and looked at all of the different screenings for Oppenheimer, all 4 of them in IMAX. Oh, would you look at that? At 10 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday, most people's day off when they sleep in and like masturbate and maybe make some cookies. Look at that. 345 occupied seats. 2 p.m., even more people. 6 p.m., even more people. 10 p.m., still 350 people going to that. The notion that people are not showing up to IMAX Nolan films is plainly ridiculous. Like, insanely dumb. Like, super bad take. One of the worst takes I've heard in a long ass time. And I know that I go off on that because I actually have been like, not tracking this, but like looking at it, seeing what's been going on with these Oppenheimer screenings. But like, no. And also, we don't know if Tenet being released during the pandemic was his call or not. You know? And I think the studio that did put it out was trying to use it as a way to get people back into theaters. They were trying to kickstart the theater business again, something that they had to do. And the best way of doing that would have been with a big film like Christopher Nolan's Tenet. So once again, like, that was just a bad take. I know you're in here. I know you're chatting a lot, but I feel like it's up to me. It's up to me to let you know that was extraordinarily a bad take. Tate's top 4 might be more like one James Bond film, Expendables, 300, and John Wick. I think that Andrew Tate would most likely say that he's too busy trafficking humans to bother with art. I think that's likely what his response would be. When I look at the box office of 2021 and 2022 and every A24 film, bombing made me lose trust in normies. Look like fine art. Sorry, that was uneducated. What? Once again, that's wrong though, because Everything Everywhere All at Once did real good business in 2022. It was, I think, it was the highest grossing A24 film of all time, you know? Oh, Layla's here. What's up? Recommend The Holy Mountain? I'm not going to do it. Brought to you by the Octussy? I mean, we're always brought here by the Octussy. The Octussy really is the binding force of this community. It always keeps its tentacles around us, keeping us safe and secure. Ew, gross. That's gross. I'm not going to talk about the Octussy for the rest of time now. I'm throwing hands over Booksmart. I didn't even see Booksmart. All right. I'm glad to be in chat for this. Woo! Chat's always fun. Chat's always a good time. All right, I think that's going to be the end of roasting for today. That was like a solid 3 hours of roasting. I do have a film screening at like 6:15 that I'm going to need to get to and maybe eat something before. So I'll probably only stay on for another like 20 or 30 minutes. Kind of interested to see what else has been breaking in the film news though. Oh, right. The new Marvels trailer is out. We're not going to watch it. We can't do that on the internet anymore because YouTube hates us. But has anyone seen it, and did you have thoughts about it? Please let me know. And yeah, for those of you who were wondering, here's the article about Dune 2, The Color Purple, and Aquaman being pushed. This is on Variety, I think, if you want to go check that out. Lady Gaga. Oh, yeah, this is a weird thing. Did anyone else hear about this? So, like, I guess the cinematographer for Joker 2, or Joker pour les deux, was, like, having a bad time with Lady Gaga and, like, didn't know who she was. Like, he knows who Lady Gaga is, right? But like they weren't really talking, and he thought like, oh, maybe she hates me. And then at one point, he like gave her a little bit of information about like something that was going on set, and then someone said to her, oh, she really wants to be called Lee instead. And so he started calling her Lee, and then they were fine and they became like friends. So I guess she was doing like method acting shit and like wasn't really responding to anyone who didn't call her Lee, which would be Harley Quinn, right? So yeah, I guess there's something that we know about it. And this is going to be kind of the thing, I think, over the next like few weeks during the strike. We're going to be seeing more stories like this because they can't use writers and they can't use actors to promote films. So instead, we're going to get articles like this where the cinematographer is going to be telling us about their experience, and that's going to end up being a thing. So keep an eye out for clickbait like that, because I imagine we're going to be seeing more of it. Indiana Jones 5 could be Disney's biggest box office disaster since John Carter. That's real bad. That's real bad. John Carter was a huge box office bomb. I think what did John Carter lose? I don't think that Indiana Jones can be that bad though. Hold on. I think that's bullshit actually, because John Carter is like a famous flop. Like basically destroyed Taylor Kitsch's career after that. So yeah, it had a budget of $306 million and only made $284. So it didn't even get back the actual budget. What is Dial of Destiny on though? Box Office Mojo is on 308 worldwide with a budget. Wasn't its budget like 270? Okay. A budget of somewhere between 295 and 400 million. Well, since we don't know, it's really hard to say. So I don't know what this particular article is then referencing and saying that. I think that's kind of bullshit, though. Any other big news? Oh, yeah, we're getting a Borderlands movie. Hooray! A video game movie directed by Eli Roth. How could that be bad? Probably won't be. American Horror Story, that's not a film thing. Oh my god. We now have posters for this? Oh man. So one of the fun things you get to see, and by fun I mean terrible, when you go to see Oppenheimer is the trailer for the Exorcist sequel, the first of a trilogy that the people who did the Halloween films that came out over the last couple of years were behind. And let me tell you, this trailer sucked ass. It was so shit. I couldn't believe how bad it actually looked. But I guess maybe we should know better by now. So these, I guess, are going to be the posters for it. The Exorcist Believer is the name. Looks like we're just doing... Oh yeah, there's two different kids who are possessed. Two different kids who are possessed in this movie. So there you go. Nice little one. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would they do this? Like, graphically, this makes no sense. Wait, is this just... It's the same image. Oh, no, yeah. These two are the same image. Like, this girl here and this girl here, it's the same image. You can tell because of the cross. So, like, I guess I didn't feel the need to, like... Oh, it's so bad. I have absolutely no trust in Danny McBride or David Gordon Green. Yeah, neither do I. And to be clear, this is not The Exorcist 2. There are already 5 Exorcist films. So this will be actually the 6th Exorcist film. Although if we're talking about canon, I'm not sure which... Like, basically, Exorcist 4 and Exorcist 5 are like the same movie. Like literally pretty much the same movie. So I'm not sure which one of those two is considered to be like canon to The Exorcist. Or if this, The Exorcist Believer, is going to be a direct sequel to the first one and exclude Exorcist 2 and 3, which are both canon to the original Exorcist. I don't know how that's going to work. But yeah, these are Exorcist posters, Exorcist the Believer posters, and this movie looks like absolute garbage. And I have a feeling that when I go to watch it so I can do a review for it, I am going to shit down its throat. And it's going to be gross, and I'm going to be fine with doing that. Because if you make a bad movie, I will tell you that you made a bad movie. Also, hey, look, AMC stopped charging for the best seats in a movie theater. Huzzah! Although I did hear that they are looking at making the seats at the very front cheaper because they are not as good. So I'm down with that. I'm fine with that. Fear the Night review party. I don't even know what the fuck that is. 4K. Oh yeah. And we talked about this last week, but I guess this movie, Sound of Freedom, is still doing really well at the box office. I would love to know, though, and I don't know if there's ever going to be this kind of information. I've heard that, like, one of the things going on with this movie is that there's a lot of, like, pay it forward type stuff. Like, people are just buying tickets as, like, a show of faith, but, like, not actually going to see the film or something like that. I don't know how true that is, or if I'm maybe extrapolating my information incorrectly, but I would be interested to know, like, if there's a difference between tickets sold and tickets scanned for this movie. And I don't know if that information exists anywhere. I think that would probably have to come directly from the different theaters distributing it. But yeah, Sound of Freedom, a movie made by people who believe in QAnon, that a lot of people on the right are being like, oh my God, this movie's about child trafficking, and if you don't take it seriously, you're obviously a pedophile or a Democrat, which is the same thing to them. Then yeah, there you go. It's doing real well at the box office. And honestly, $100 million on the budget that it had of $15 million is impressive. I just don't really want to see this movie. I am not interested at all. And I guess that makes me a pedophile, according to some people. What else we got going on in here? Yeah, this is getting back kind of far. Getting back kind of far with the film news. Any new film news, though? RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Untucked, Season 5, Episode 12 Recap, Grand Finale. Ooh, I'm not going to read that. What is IMAX with laser, and is it worth seeking out for Oppenheimer? Yeah, if that's your best IMAX option, then yeah, do that. Tubi just released an original theater titled Deadly Dilf, and you can watch the trailer here. You've got to be kidding me. Deadly Dilf? Like Deadly Dad I'd Like to Fuck? No way. Tubi, what are you doing? Also, I should make movies. If this kind of shit can get funding, then a movie that I write can get funding. Good God. Yes, DILF. It's a dad I'd like to fuck. Just like a MILF is a mom I'd like to fuck. Come on, we all knew what a DILF was. We all knew what a DILF was. Oh, it's been okay. So that Zendaya movie, Luca Guadagnino movie we were just talking about called Challengers, it's officially moved back to April 2024. So not only is it not playing at Venice, but we are not getting it for like almost a full year. And that's kind of shit, right? Because if they were planning on premiering at Venice, that means they were planning on an Oscar run for it. And now that it's getting released in April, you can pretty much kiss that one goodbye. So that's a shame. That's a shame. Always love seeing Luca Guadagnino being in the hunt for an Oscar, if possible. I hate modern American horror. They sometimes do good stuff, but it's just shit. There's just a lot of shit there. Tubi has no standards at all. It's at least an hour long and technically a movie, but they still probably back it. Best Tubi film you've seen, TJ? I've seen no original Tubi films, so I have no idea. I tried to watch Under Siege on Tubi once, and then I made it to the first commercial break and then remembered that I hate commercials and just left. But if Tubi has no standards, that means that I could shoot a movie, probably for $5,000 or probably less, just with some friends. Put that shit on Tubi, right? Why not? What else is going on here in chat? Okay, I think I'm all caught up on chat, actually. So you know what, everyone? You know what? I think this might actually be the point in time to call it. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So I want to thank each and every one of you, of course, for tuning in. Thank you so much for spending some of your Friday with me. I appreciate the absolute hell out of it. And I hope you'll come back on Tuesday when we're going to do all of this again. More roasts, more talking about movies, more good old fun times. So with that, have a great weekend. Watch a lot of good movies. There are, as it so happens, a lot of good movies in theaters right now. And I'm going to want to hear all about your movie-going experiences on Tuesday, so you better come back, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if I don't see you, well, hopefully you're not dead. Have a good one, everyone.